Most other day game coaches, day game boot camps are scams. Here's how I know. When I first started teaching boot camps long ago, only the tall students were getting laid. Asians and minorities almost never. Say I in your mind if you ever wonder if it's all just about height and looks. I kept asking myself, was it height? Was it looks? Was it race? It seemed like there was a hierarchy, but I wasn't sure. If a tall Indian guy got laid, that's 6'4" in Vancouver when I first started teaching, just like way back then, 2012, 2013, and he got a Filipina, and that's not high value in Vancouver. So I thought to myself at this point, maybe height does matter. Of course, I'm still developing my system, the 20 out of 35. So if white guys kept getting laid with while Asian men struggled, maybe race mattered. That's what I thought. That's different. Say I, if you ever felt like you were at a disadvantage because of your background. So I broke it down: looks, money, and status. But that wasn't everything. No, that was just the beginning, because there's more to the formula than that. Let me post this in the Facebook group. I'm going to talk about why. So let me share this. Where the fuck is my Facebook group? Hold on a second. Group. Okay. Just bear with me for a second. Day 1 5-day challenge. All right. Sorry about the interruption. But even then, some Indian students, they polled, but they did not get laid as I'm teaching more boot camps. Others did. There had to be more to it, as I thought. I tried every game system out there. I used to think that it was just all looks, money, status, and game. But it didn't work out for everyone. So say fuck game if you ever felt frustrated with all the pickup advice, all the pickup boot camps out there, and you're not getting any results whatsoever. See, are there any comments? Okay, over here, captions. Okay, anyone? There's only one person here. What's up? So I better tell other people that. I'm on YouTube Live right now. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to ask at any time. I will answer it. Just make sure you write the word question before you ask it. So, if you ever felt frustrated with all the pickup advice out there, everything changed when I got mentored by 12 naturals from all around the world. My Pakistani mentor and his friends show me what really works. So I learned all about social skills, how you talk, and how you connect with people in general. Because I found that naturals were very different. They were socializing with everybody around them. They were so good at talking, they're literally socializing just to be able to sharpen their game sword. So, there's only one person here. Let me put this live over yeah, maybe they don't know that's here, but copy video URL. Yeah, usually at 5 p.m., right? More people should show up in theory, unless I got this wrong. Where the fuck are you? All right, let's continue. So I learned all about social calibrations afterwards. Your body language, your vibe, reading the room. Say I if you know how important it is to read people, especially when you're day gaming. From another mentor, I learned about the emotional control, how to stay chilled and relaxed no matter what. He speaks like how a lot of my students were taught to speak, very whitewashed. That's why I started teaching social calibrations in Elite 30 and emotional control in the Elite Tonality Mastery. For game, I realized only three things really matter. That's it. Everything else is just a waste of time. So, let me post a link to it. It's okay. Oh, yeah, two people's watching. Hey, what's up? So, somebody's here. Get Skills is here. Ask as many questions as you like. Okay? I could see your question. So, I'm going to switch the captions to ask questions. And maybe we should put some music here, right? Let's get some music up in here. I put some new soundtracks. Hopefully, that's it. Everything else is just a waste of time. Can you hear music? So, here. Hopefully it works. Right? Let's get some music up in here. I put some new soundtracks. Hopefully. Oh, it's fucking loud. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit. Just here. What about here? Yeah, it's extremely loud. So, anyways, let's continue. So, as I was saying, okay, for the people that are here, if you want to have any questions for Q&A, you can just ask questions right away. All right? So, chat, just bear with me. I'm still trying to learn how to use this thing. I forgot how to use it. So, as I was saying, for game, I realized only three things really mattered: maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum, and objections looping. Nothing else worked for me. As a short Asian guy in a city full of Asians everywhere, negative stereotype Asians. So, say if you ever felt invisible and overlooked in your city because there are too many Asians or Indians. That's how I discovered the 20 out of 35 system. Looks is out of 10. That's it. Money is out of 5. And speaking of money, let's wear a watch today. Yeah, let's go with this Rolex then. This is a Yachtmaster 2. Yeah, that'll be a good day to wear this one. So it's a boat racing watch. A lot of celebrities have this one, so I really like this one. All right. That's kind of strange. Like, I expect more people to be here, but I'm just gonna keep preaching. So maybe they think this is like just the same trailer video. I don't know. Let me move it to the other group. Should we just restart everything? I feel like I fucked up really badly in this one. Yeah, we should just restart this one. If people don't care, right, then I'm just gonna restart this one, unless more people show up. I feel like I took so long just to get to the fucking point. This is not good. No, I'm just gonna continue. All right. So basically, looks is out of 10, money is out of 5, status or race is out of 10 for a hierarchy. Social skills, 2.5 points. Social calibration is 2.5 points. Emotional control, 2.5 points. Game, 2.5 points. It wasn't until I created the Elite 30 from hard case to hero, only focusing on social skills and social calibrations, that's like 5 points. 2.5 points is social skills. 2.5 points is social calibrations. Hopefully it worked. Just bear with me. I'm still trying to learn how to use this thing. I forgot. Okay. Okay, now it's two people. Maybe the title is not very good. It should be like, um, I feel like the title needs to say day game or something. Otherwise, they don't know. Let me change it. But yeah, that's how I developed a 20 out of 35 system. Now that there's two people here, and hopefully you stay, so I don't have to restart doing everything again, right? And hopefully the next video they'll start to see it. Okay, let's see YouTube live. Only 4 views, right? So day game. All right. 20 out of 35 concept. What is 20 out of 35 concept? All right. So any questions so far? As I was saying, this is what I figured that there was a 20 out of 35 system that has gotten me students laid over and over. I'm going to go over their testimonials soon, but looks is out of 10, money is out of 5, status for hierarchy is out of 10. Social skills is 2.5 points, social calibrations is 2.5 points, emotional control is 2.5 points, and gaming is 2.5 points. So if they reach 20 out of 35, I get another video testimonial from a student. So it's not so much about game. That's what I discovered. It was actually not looks, money, status plus game, because game is just a value delivery system. It was actually closer to social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game, along with looks, money, and status. So, having said that, it wasn't until I created Elite 30 from hard case to hero and only focusing on social calibrations and social skills. And that's an extra 5 points. People kept getting laid. And I was thought to myself, wait a minute, this is not a game course. This is just for a hard case course to improve your social skills and social calibrations. Why are they getting laid so much? Now I started thinking to myself, wait a minute, I already got like 10 video testimonials. It's like they just kept popping up. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, it's clearly not just all game or you are enough in plus game, whatever. It's all that was I'm starting to think there might be something wrong with this. They're selling boot camps saying learn more game. Game is a solution. Game this, game that. But in reality, they're not getting their students laid. And this is the beginning of getting more video testimonials. In the beginning, I got a lot of students laid with just game alone. But then when the social skills and social calibrations was there, it was just a clean fucking sweep. So there's more to it and more categories. So 20 out of 35 is called the line of fuckability. You automatically get laid for day game. So it's less points for night game. For example, let's just see if the people are here. I'll just share it with them. One, okay. I'll share it with one group first. Yo, where the fuck are you guys? Right? I'll share it with a second group. And I'll share it with a third group. Join the party, guys. What the fuck? All right, let's continue. So for night game is different. It's not like 20 out of 35. Night game is 15 out of 35. So you like, what do you mean by 15 out of 35, John? Well, that's because other Asian dating coaches can get other students laid for night game, but not for day game. So during the inflation and tariffs, they can't do it. Only ABCs of low self-esteem company got one student laid in Mexico or Peru. So they did not get a student laid for day game, but that was 2024. They couldn't get them laid in the United States. And they don't have any other laid testimonials since like the pandemic days. Way, way many years ago. So they can get students late for night game, no big deal. It's 15 out of 35 because there's no social skills in the nightclub. It's too loud to be having a conversation. In a nightclub, when you start talking, you're yelling in her ear. And then she's like, "What do you say?" "I said that you have like whatever, whatever." She's like, "What?" That's not social skills. And also with the loud music and the alcohol and everything else, how could you possibly have emotional control? You cannot have emotional control if the nightclub is super loud. And that becomes a big problem. Let's change the soundtrack. Okay. So usually it's the default song I go to. It's called Daygame. Okay, I'm not even sure what the song is. This I think it's this one. I could be wrong. Something called Johnny Elite Vibes. Okay, hopefully that's the right song. All right. So all from that testimonial was so blue. Also, there's no self-identified awareness or ability. There's no social skill, social calibrations, or emotional control. Just some text game and being white for 10 out of 10 status. So you got these tall self-proclaimed coaches that are bragging about Tinder testimonials. Who cares? It doesn't mean anything at all. Anyone can get Tinder testimonials. You just have to be white and have good pictures and just a little bit of text game, and you're gonna bang a woman that's 3 or 4 out of 10. That's really fat and unattractive. Easily. Totally, totally easily. So, or status maxing in Latin shithole countries. If you're Asian, right? And that's what they love to do. Especially the Asian passport bros, the Asian masculinity movement. These guys are insufferable. They believe by going to Latin shithole countries, they can raise their high status job because they're all engineers. That's how they can afford the boot camps. And also, because of that, not only can they afford the boot camps, they can also have a third world money status advantage on their Instagram that they travel to all these Latin shithole countries. So that gives you 2 extra points. Number 3, maybe you can show a lifestyle on it and you get 3 points. And then you can also show like an exotic advantage. If they're all Latinas in Colombia, I mean, that place is fucking crazy. Lots of people get scopy memed. Hey, Marco, what's up? So, who wants to get results in 2025? Or you want to keep waiting? Exactly. So, you guys should invest in yourself. You guys should invest in yourself. So, now there's back to 2 people. Hopefully, Marco's still here. Go ahead and ask me some questions. So, basically, that's how they status max and they use Tinder or Night Game in different countries. This year, they can't afford to go there. Last year, they did that with the highest interest rates. But for Daygame, it's 20 out of 35. It's the only system that I created that I cannot debunk. I can't change anything because I keep getting students late. 20 out of 35. Looks out of 10, money out of 5, status out of 10, social skills 2.5, social calibrations 2.5, emotional control 2.5, game 2.5. I cannot change it. I tried to change it. I tried to debunk myself, but it explains everything. It explains black pill, it explains red pill, it explains everything. It explains like tall self-proclaimed coaches going to Latin countries and just having more status and making it easier. It explains everything. Because even if you're black pill, if your looks was like 8 out of 10, and also your race is 10, right? That's 18 points. You're like, oh, it's not 20 out of 35. No, no, that's 18 out of 35. And also, they have no social skills, no social calibrations because they're angry and really bad emotional control. They're game deniers. So technically, their 18 points becomes 15.5 because minus 2.5. The emotions category can be minus 2.5. That's only one category that can go downwards. Social skills cannot be minus. Social calibrations cannot be minus. If it's bad, it's zero. But your emotions can be minus 2.5. And this is not just counting the inflation or the tariff. Of course, people's emotions are minus 2.5. Because of that, they're stuck. That's why when women hear you, they get turned off. So if they're 15.5 out of 35, they're not going to get over the line of fuckability. Even if they got surgery, they'll just be 16.5 points. It's the same thing with red pill. You focus all your points on lifestyle, social skills, lifestyle, third world money status advantage, exotic advantage, lifestyle, whatever the fuck, right? That's 4 points. You're white, 10 points. You're six in looks, that's 20 points. They have no social skills, really bad body language, and they're game deniers. And then they're minus 2.5. So that becomes 17.5 points. So basically, this system cannot be debunked. It explains everyone's testimonials or the lack of it, especially when other boot camps start teaching direct game and does not work. So this is a perfect system. If this system is perfect, you guys should calibrate to the 20 out of 35. And the most important category this year is the emotional control. So why is it my students, no matter what their background, why are they getting late for day game, even in the toughest markets like the United States or London? Don't mind the cough. I didn't have time for cough medicine. But that's why these three students got late during the last 5 day challenges. You know that? For the first 5 day challenge, somebody got laid. A guy from London, an Indian guy has a white girlfriend. You're like, what the fuck? How does an Indian guy get a white girlfriend? Is that impossible? No. And the second guy is a Latino. And Latinos are known as the worst students of all time. For some reason, one of them got laid. He's 21 years old. Fuck. He's a Gen Z student. And also, another person got laid was an Asian person who got a stripper in the United States, and he's still with her. This is not from, she's a stripper. And somebody once asked me, hey, John, isn't she like, are you sure she's from a strip club or something? Or something like that? It's like, no. He approached her during the streets. He kept getting rejected. I taught him elite tonality mastery and the arrow science. And he got laid right away. And he moved in with her. So they're together and she's paying for everything because she's a fucking stripper. She has the money to afford the apartment for both of them. So good for him. Do average looking guys have a chance and close eight and up chicks in 2025? Well, yeah. I mean, the other Asian student, right? He closed the eight and up student in 2025. So he closed a stripper. If that's the case, then how did he do it? So it is possible. So having said that, if you were to see what actually works, not just tall or white guys, but for you, keep watching. Before the pandemic, right, the 20 out of 35 system, I'll speak a little bit softer, right, so I don't cough. So the 20 out of 35 system was enough. But then the pandemic hit, inflation, the tariff, and everything got tougher because the emotions are affected. The survival value is affected. Women are giving more objections, and guys are talking like, hey guys, I'm so depressed. They breathe out at the end of the sentence, and when they talk, and then they pause for like 3 seconds because they're thinking so much with their Asperger syndrome. It's like, why? So say in your mind, if you felt that dating suddenly became harder this year, like Marco says in 2025, in your mind, say I. All right. For those who did, good job. So that's where the arrow science has evolved. Like arrow science, that's a weird name, John. So what is the arrow science, and how is it a good way to explain how this 20 out of the 35 system really works? Well, at first, it was the first system I used because it was the only thing that worked. I mean, I used many systems, but it was the first system that was effective. Over time, the system got diluted. Some stupid romantic shit, but that's not effective. But now arrow science is back to its core. So what is the arrow science? Think of it like an arrow. Maybe I should have bought an arrow from Amazon right in the future so I can demonstrate like, oh, here's the arrow science. So imagine the arrow tip, okay? When you look at it, the tip has 3 points, right? You know, the arrow, it's like a triangle. It'll strike a target. Its maneuver is sexualized to the maximum and dealing with the sexual objections looping it. I'll say this again. Maneuver, sexualized, objections looping. Objections, yeah, maneuver, sexualized, objections looping. That's the arrow tip. That's not enough to penetrate, but it's a good start. So maneuver means instigates, venue changes, pulling her back home. That's what maneuver means. You must play a maneuver warfare if you want to close, like Marco was saying, women that are higher in looks level. You want to have the skills that you can close them because if you start texting them, they might not come back out. But they did come back out for my students. So the women still came back out. It didn't matter. But you need to have the same day lay abilities, then the phone numbers will not flake. So the game part is nothing fancy for the arrow tip. When she talks more, you flirt. It's like, oh, should I just do a bunch of sexual shit? You gotta sexualize it, and then you got to keep saying like, "That's what she says." Ha 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 ha! Like, shut the fuck up. All these white people are like, "Oh, you gotta sexualize it because she thinks about sex and she's gonna have sex." No, you gotta flirt when she talks more. You're like, really? How do you know when she talks more? Well, you gotta be observant. But it's hard to get her to talk more without the social skills flow drill, isn't it? It really is hard. So when she gives attitude, you tease. It's it's almost like a rock, paper, and scissors. It's that simple, really. So, but these days, teasing is less important. It really is. You don't have to. So say fuck game if you're tired of overcomplicated things like Todd V shit. Go ahead, say it with me. Fuck game. All right, good. Now remember, maneuver, sexualize, objections looping, right? You guys remember that? Arrow science. But that's just the tip of the arrow. But what about the rest of the arrow body? So what creates the length of the arrow body? Because with just the tip, without the arrow body, it's not going to penetrate. So during the pandemic, just body language alone could get you laid. You didn't need the arrow science. So social skills, social calibrations, the arrow is not that long, but there's the arrow tip. It wasn't arrow science. It wasn't a big tip. And it still went through the target. I still collected a lot of laid testimonials. I used to get around 15 laid testimonials a month, laid and pulled. And you're like, what the fuck? So 15, 30, right? Blah, 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 45, and then 60. It just kept going on and on. And some years I got over 100 of them. That was like during the pandemic and before that. I used to get that much. That's why I'm up to 665 laid and pulled testimonials. There was huge quantum leaps, but things slowed down because the pandemic hit, then the inflation, and now we're in the tariff era. But before that, then yeah, let's see here. Question, okay? Is flirting more important than teasing? Flirting is 100% more important than teasing because teasing is when she's off the line. It's like sales. Flirting does not penalize you. If you keep sexualizing it, like white dating coaches, you got to sexualize it because that's how you do it. That's what she says, right? Turn around, let me see your ass. Ha ha ha. If you got do shit like that, sexualizing, you get penalized. So it's like sales, right? It's on the line. It goes left to right. When you reach the end, it becomes a sale, right? You want to get them to the end before you deal with objections. However, you can deviate off the line. Get it? If you try to sexualize it, and then you get penalized. It for UMP victims, those people always sexualize. The only women that their students can have sex with, in terms of quantity, are all ugly, fat 3 out of 10 looking women, or 4 out of 10 at most. That's what happens when you sexualize it. You get penalized. Teasing, if you tease at the wrong times, is not good. If you eliminate teasing, it'll still work. If you flirt at the right times, flirting, there is no penalize. Like, you don't get penalized for flirting. You can flirt to your heart's content and you can warm up her pussy. If you don't flirt, you don't fuck. But if you sexualize it, you can almost get knocked out by over 75% of women, or 80%. And you only get those 20%. It's a lot of work just to bang a 4 out of 10 if you keep sexualizing it. That's why you should sexualize it at the very end to the maximum, not halfway sexualize. But teasing, I would say flirting is 50 times more important than teasing. That's a great question. I really like it. I'm going to add it to my FAQ on the last day. Thank you very much for asking it. All right. So basically, during the pandemic, just the body language, right? Because now we're talking about the arrow body. The arrow tip was maneuver, sexualized objections, looping. Now we added social skills, social calibrations. We got a short arrow and we got a little bit of a tip. It still goes into the target. You still get laid. And social calibrations alone, I mean, Elite 30 covered that. People literally can just get Elite 30 and just, oh, another video testimonial for John Elite. Oh, another one. But something's changed. In 2022, it's people get strangled. Like, all right. How did they get strangled? Because of the inflation. 2024 is the first year of the inflation, but people were not strangled. They could still breathe. They're like, but they're not financially strangled yet. Biden was in office. The whole world was just falling apart. So that's what happened. Something's changed because the inflation started to bite, but most people didn't feel it until 2023. Around 2022, all the Indians started to attack me from India. You get these people late and stuff, they'll stab you in the face, they'll stab you in the back. They all turn evil. I don't know why. Maybe money's affected during the inflation. Food costs was higher, gas prices was higher. They just stab you in the back, bench holding. So they all been banned from India from my coaching at that point. They were never allowed to take my coaching for the rest of their lives. Good riddance. I was still training Indians in the West, but that inflation hit them hard. They were the first ones to see the effects. When I saw Indians bench holding, I was like, this is different. This is not the same thing I've seen before. So what else happened? So that's where you needed social skills too. It wasn't just social calibrations. You had to learn the triangular flow drill. The same steps repeated, and you can learn it from elite access. You don't know it. Most people think they know it. They don't know it because they can't do it. But if you can get her talking more and more, and you get more words out of her, she's going to like you, she's going to trust you, and she's going to be willing to go home with you. You can't get that kind of compliance. Is the music still going on? You can't get that kind of compliance unless, well, I just play it once. We try to play again. I'll just loop it. There it is. All right. You can't get that kind of compliance unless, you know, what? You know, oh yeah. Unless you talk to her, right? You're not gonna like to talk to you, go home with you. So a lot of people get stuck. They go on an instant date, like Vancouver or something. They go to one venue change. They stay there for 50 minutes in a row, and the woman is bored. You're just talking about yourself and how great you are. She's like rolling her eyes like this. Oh my God. And then she leaves, and then you text her, and she doesn't want to text you back because the social skills wasn't there. So when 2022 hit, The students started to add the social skills with social calibrations. So they used a triangular flow drill to get the women to talk more, but looking at their body language to build the attraction gradually. Because in the beginning, even if you don't flirt or you don't tease or anything like that, as long as your body language is 45 degrees like my students and is perfect, it's gradually going to go upwards like this for the attraction for like a certain amount of minutes before you go on an insta date. It builds attraction and it builds seduction. So now you need more pieces. That's why people needed more skills. Once they learned the social skills flow drill with the body language, they were unstoppable. Of course, things do change beyond that. So, having said that, let's see how many people have seen this so far. I'm just looking at the analytics, right? You see how many people is here. Okay, that's good. There's definitely some viewers here. I'm happy about that. So basically, that's another 5 points right there. Say I if you want to know more about the social skills flow drill and how they can make a difference. Say it in your mind or say it here. Say I. So, excellent question. I really like that question. That question was a wonderful, wonderful question. Give it a thumbs up so that way this can help the analytics. More people can see this stream. So, having said that, all right, maybe I should push this stream over to the. I'm gonna share it with my other inner circle group. Inner circle. On YouTube Live, join. All right. All right. Let's continue. So in 2024, it was brutal. Exactly. That's fucking awesome. So, like I said, to give you more context, if you can get her talking more, it's kind of like, you know, if she doesn't talk more, she's going to give you one word answers. That's why you never have to do the zombie flow drill. All the other infields from all the other dating coaches to prove that they don't have social skills, they'll make a statement. They'll say, "You look like you're into yoga." And then she's like, "No, I'm not." So 3 words. No, I'm not. Then the brain will get stuck because the left brain does not connect to the right. The corpus callosum in the middle is damaged. So they'll just go ask a question. So what else do you do besides yoga? And she's like, I like to weightlift. I like to weightlift. Like 4 word. That's it. 4. And then they go back to a statement. You also look like you like to do a lot of butt workout exercises. She's like, no, I don't. 3 words. No, I don't. Get it? And they're stuck again. They don't know what to do. Then they ask another question. Oh shit, they panic. How long have you been working out for? Why do you like to work out? Why not do something else? And then she says, I have a boyfriend. And they're like, damn it, it's a numbers game. I was like, what are you talking about? Numbers game? No, it's called autism. Because the 2 brains don't connect together very well. Because they don't connect, then you're going to start to not get long answers because you don't have this social skills flow drill. Okay, as I was saying, 2024 was brutal. Everyone was getting squeezed by the inflation. So money's like 2024 is fucking brutal. That the high interest rates was like 5 point something or 6 point something. It was so high, it was expensive to borrow, and people didn't want to spend money. That 2024, I got like 56 laid in testimonials. Nobody cared. They got more delusional. They start listing these global game platform scammers instead. They ignored me. So now you needed the whole arrow science for game, plus emotional control from the elite tonality mastery. So what does that mean now? When we look at the arrow tip, maneuver, sexualized objections looping, right? That's a triangle for the tip. Now we have to add social skills to extend the body of the arrow, social calibrations, and emotional control. Now it's a long arrow. In 2024, unless you have a very long arrow, it's not going to penetrate. And that's how I got 56 laid in testimonials. Nobody else got a student laid. In 2024, other dating coaches in their boot camps, they were posting old clips from 2001 from the pandemic era. They're recycling clips. Or if they're very popular, they might get one student laid if they're lucky. If they have like so many students, I was getting 56 laid in po testimonials. So if your survival value is affected, your tonality is affected. So this is where a lot of the elite tonality mastery exercises came from, and they were part of the elite access. They were not actually part of, like, I didn't have an elite tonality mastery course, and a couple of students got laid from it already. So, having said that, so basically, emotional control extends the arrow. That's what elite access is for. 1 year of daily consulting. That was where all the tonality stuff was taught. There was no elite tonality mastery yet. And also, you get quick feedback on your drills, infields, whatever you need. I'm only going to take a couple seconds. Say I if you wish that someone has been checking your progress or your homework like that. Say I if you had the elite access. And that'd be so great to have the world's best day game coach look over stuff, and you can pick my brain for 10 minutes and just say, John, what's wrong with my infield? Or what's wrong with my body language? Or what supplement should I take? And then you just know the answer. It's like asking, hey, Elon Musk, right? Or hey, Donald Trump, what is the answer for this? Or just say I in your own brain, really loud. Don't worry, I can hear your subconscious thoughts because I'm psychic. So, having said that, don't forget the feather, the V-shaped body, the fashion, the husband material. Look, some guys, right? You know, white Latinos, they don't want to change how they dress. They always want to feel like they are enough. Oh, why am I not enough? Because RSD says that I am enough. Why do I have to change? I don't feel comfortable dressing better. It's like, first of all, you gotta be husband material. You're like a 55-year-old bald, 5'11" white guy, and you dress like Homer Simpson. You're old-fashioned. You expect a 21-year-old is gonna jump on your dick like my other German student who's 5'7", who's bald and fat and ugly. He has skills. You have none of that, and your emotion sucks. So, having said that, they don't want to change how they dress. But is it getting you guys laid? Especially those ones who deny the whitewash husband material fashion. Well, it's working for my students. So if not, then you need the feather to make the arrow fly. The V-shaped body plus the whitewash tonality is the feather at the end of the arrow. Okay, so it penetrates a lot better, especially in 2023. So in 2024, it's a little bit different. During the inflation, a strong feather was the key. Otherwise, you will just pull her home and nothing will happen. That's bad. Won't that be frustrating, right? Say I if you ever felt stuck at the finish line. You try to pull, and for some unknown fucking reason, she doesn't end up there to a lay. She's in your bedroom, but she's not on your dick. Say I if that's ever happened to you guys. Maybe some of you have never even pulled yet. So, let's see here. Make sure the people here. Maybe I can I tried to connect on my phone by running YouTube on the background. God, so I'm not sure if it worked on the phone. I don't think this thing actually hung. It's still there, right? Let me see if this is working. 0.5 points. Social calibration is 2.5 points. Emotional control 2.5 points. Game 2.5 points. It wasn't until I created the Elite 30 from Arcades to Hero, only focusing on social skills and social calibrations, that's like 5 points. But music's not that loud. So I should play another song, right? Okay, let's play the Gold Nugget song. People like that one a lot, right? Is it working? All right, we'll play this song. I mean, people like this song, right? I have not made the Gold Nugget series in a while, right? I'll get back to it as soon as I can, after I finish the 5-day challenge. So, Even with the right fashion, right, without enough skills, you're still stuck. By 2024 and 2025, this is what I call the tariff era, because Donald Trump is threatening to tariff all these different countries. You never know if a country has to pay more. Look at China. China has been tariffed so fucking much because he wants to get them to the negotiations table. People are worried that Donald Trump is going to cause a recession. We already have 1/4 lower. So it's going to affect people's cortisol levels, their survival value, and cortisol is the worst thing. We talked about that in the last 5-day challenge. We're not talking about the same things. Today, we're going to talk about 20 out of 35. We're going to talk about completely different stuff. So 2024 and 2025, inner game becomes everything. So people have less money. In 2024, they had a higher interest rates. Other coaches had 0 late testimonials, but because they're like featured on these global game platform scamming networks, it's almost like ESPN. It's almost like they're interviewing some old basketball players that pretend to shoot the ball in the hoop or stand next to women in optics. They didn't get laid, and then all of a sudden they get authority, false authority. I couldn't overcome their false authority. That was stupid. Even though I got 56 laid in pro testimonials, they got 0. I had student results, but the interest rates dropped a bit in 2025. I believe right now, I could be wrong, but the interest rates are like, in the United States, maybe 2.5 or something. I could be wrong, but it's not 2 yet, right? Where they want to get to. It's still tough out there. So remember, the Maslow chart of human needs. There's a chart that everyone has the same human needs. On the very bottom, it talks about food, shelter, water, sex, procreation, toilet, temperature, control. So there's a big chart on the bottom. A lot of you guys that are broke as a joke, you guys are still stuck into the bottom of the Maslow chart of human needs. And that's bad. Why is there only one person here? What the fuck? Wait, now it's 3. Okay, that's good. The thing's going up and down a lot. So when your basic needs are threatened, your emotional control drops, your survival value tanks, and your arrow cannot aim straight. You're like, what do you mean? So the entire arrow science, right? Maneuver, sexualized objections looping on the arrow tip. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, the arrow body extended. V-shaped body, whitewash fashion, the feather. But you can't, let's say you had all that, but you were broke, like super broke. How can you aim the arrow? Because you're always stuck in survival mode. So now the arrow is not going to hit the target. So you might have a date, or you might actually go on an Insta date, and it does not lead to a lay because you can't aim it because of the lack of ability to budget the money. Don't you get it? 20 out of 35. The arrow science is everything. You must be able to budget your money. You must be able to invest in yourself. You must have some survival value. Of course, you get these tall, self-proclaimed white coaches. They're like, oh yeah, my students don't care about my... That's like fucking Tinder, like 12 out of 35. Who cares? Who cares? But when it comes to Daygame, you can't be super broke because you're always going to be in survival mode. It's not good for your mindsets. Let me just see if other people are here. All right? So... I'm already on the YouTube Live. Are you there? Let me just send this to other people. I'm just going to send a bunch of random people. Confidence is key. It all starts inside. These golden nuggets, they're your ultimate guide. Yeah, I'll just do that to see if more people shows up. Okay, now 7 people. That's good. We got a full house here. So say have you ever felt your emotions getting in the way because of the tariff and the inflation? So it's all connected to the 20 out of 35 system. So you're saying, John, if you can get 20 out of 35, looks is out of 10, money is out of 5, status is out of 10, social skills 2.5 points, social calibrations 2.5 points, emotional control 2.5, game 2.5. If you get that, the arrow science, you can aim the arrow, Boom, it'll hit the target. 1 to 6 approaches, same day lay. If you have all these pieces together, arrow science explains how it all fits together. But it's really a 20 out of 35 system. And this is how my students, they got laid. They worked on the arrow science. They drilled down the elite tonality mastery. They had a strong body language. Before, it wasn't enough. But now when you put these pieces together, you get your dick wet and you get laid. So we should look at their testimonials, because right now the good thing is that when we play their testimonials over here, you know, this streaming thing, right, that you see over here. Because of that, even if the guy's voice is censored, normally you cannot hear it. It gets cut out. But this time it is not cut out. It is all there. But we have a question, okay? That's great. So why is looks and status higher than social calibration, social skills, and emotional control? And okay, that's a good question, okay? So basically, to say that looks don't matter, it's kind of, you're lying to yourself. You might have other coaches saying, oh, looks don't matter, and they think it's all hung up on looks, but looks is still a big chunk of it. It's like, you know, it's almost like 20 something percent or something. It's a big fucking chunk. So social skills without looks, right? It's just like you can be an ugly person who's short and fat, and then all of a sudden you're just talking and talking, you got social skills. That does that give you 10 points? No. Why would it give you 10 points? That's And second of all, even if you had a perfect body language and let's say you're ugly, is she gonna fuck you? No. So that's why they're smaller. They're skill points. Game is actually a lot smaller. Game was only 2.5 points. It's not look, money, stats plus game. Game was always 2.5 points. In the past, people can make 10,000 approaches. They get laid during the pandemic and before. It was like a fail-safe system. When the 2024 inflation hit and 2025 tariff, if they made 10,000 approaches, they don't get laid unless they want to go for an ugly Asian woman. But yeah, even your emotional control could be minus 2.5 or plus 2.5. But this is what you're not getting. You say, why is it bigger than that? It's not bigger than that. It's the same. You got to combine social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. That's 10 points right there. You see that? Get skills? That's 10 points right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 points. Same as looks, same as status. You got just bunch these ones together, and it's like a transformer. They're just like, here, we're gonna put all the pieces together, right? From different ones, or it's like Captain Planet or something like that. It's just they combine together, and then now you got, you know, all together. So it's still a skill category. The other ones are more value based, but your race is always gonna matter. You see that? That's a great question. Why does it matter more? Listen, your race matters a lot. You think Asians have a high value? Asians have the lowest value. I'll tell you why. Because you look at other dating coaches, they have these token Asians out there. That means whenever they get a student laid that's Asian, they shove it in everyone's face. They only have one Asian that got laid. Nobody else got laid except that one Asian. They don't have a second Asian. Asians are the lowest. They got more Indians laid than they got Asians laid. Does that make sense? So the Indians are like bench-hold Indians are 2 out of 10. Asians are always going to be 1 out of 10 or 0 if they're in like Asian wash. And then you got Latinos that went downwards because of the ICE raids. This is the second time. They used to be 7 out of 10, then 6 out of 10 the first time Donald Trump was president, and now it's 5 out of 10. Now they're designated as terrorists. So it lowers the the events out there on the news can lower the people's status. Middle Eastern 7 out of 10. Like confident blacks that are whitewashed 8 out of 10. White people 10 out of 10. It never changes. Except for Latinos. That's the only one that changed. Dropping a like. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're here. So I was talking about the 20 out of 35 system. It's just something I cannot debunk. So somebody's asking. Okay, so basically the Indian student, he sexualized it to the maximum and he used the arrow science. So he was actually the first guy that bought Elite Tonality Mastery. You're like, well, John, I didn't think you could buy it separately by itself. No, no. He already had Elite Bundle too. And he was always practicing Elite 30. So he already had his social skills and social calibrations. It wasn't enough. I show him a sales letter, early draft that I've written for Elite Tonality Mastery or Elite Bundle Resurrections. It's a very short one. You can WhatsApp somebody. And he read it and he's like, oh, I want to buy this. I was like, really? It's not even finished. I want to buy it. All right, then. Here are the videos, right? And then he gets to see the videos. And then what happened? Well, he has a photographic memory, so he didn't practice that drills that much. He's Indian. He's lazy. Indians are super, super, super fucking lazy. I'm not joking. The bench hold, ADHD, so he couldn't do it. Mentally incapable. But somehow, because of his Asperger's or autism, he's diagnosed with Asperger's. He has a perfect photographic memory. Certain students of mine are savants. They can remember what day I taught them something, like what day of the week, and also what day on the calendar. So he's probably like a savant. He can remember everything that I taught. So in that way, he learned Elite Tonality Mastery. Then what happened afterwards? Because afterwards, when he had a photographic memory, then he combined it together and he got laid because he used the arrow science. He literally was on Skype with her and they're both masturbating together on the fucking video call. Right? So he joined the inner circle afterwards to learn the arrow science, maneuver, sexualized objections, looping, the tip. And they're both, she was like masturbating, and they're just looking at each other. And then they went on a date. He pulled her back home. He dealt with the sexual objections, and boom, he got fucking laid, and he has a white girlfriend right now. So that's the Indian student. So we should actually, for reference sake, we should play his testimonial, and maybe we should have started with that so people will listen. I have not posted the third one yet, but I did post his video testimonial for this guy. He followed the same system. Elite Tonality Mastery, because tonality is important. In the last 5-day challenge, we talked about how cortisol can actually lower your points by 2.5 points for emotional control. This time, we're not talking about the same topics. This is new. We're talking about 20 out of 35 and the arrow science. Every 5-day challenge is going to be different topics. This is that different focus altogether. I barely talk about 20 out of 35. But let's see over here. Since it's good, we can, even if I change his voice to make it sound like more robotic, because we're on this stream thing. You see the big blue bar on the bottom. We can hear everything now. Before, you can't hear this kind of stuff. Listen.
I just wanted to share my experience with getting into the program and how it changed my life. You guys have heard a lot about different programs, different coaches, and different styles and saying this program will change your life. You need to follow this program.
Yeah, especially boot camps or bench hold camps. They always promise the world, they don't deliver.
But I actually have got the results from it. Today, Wednesday, I got results.
This is on April 29th, 2025. This was during the first 5-day challenge. So he represents the first 5-day challenge. So we're going to see whoever joins me this time around, who's going to get laid here. There's a couple of you here watching this stream. Who's going to get their dick wet? Who's going to invest in themselves and get their dick wet and not be bothered by the Donald Trump tariff? So if anyone has potential, maybe you should look it up. I'm not going to pitch my course right now. I'm not. I'm going to talk about these things. It's important.
Was Tuesday. It is actually up tonight. And then Tuesday as well.
I'm going to play it faster so I don't bore you guys. Because a couple of people dropped off.
This is going to change the rules. You can just this will take the possible. And it can improve. And then people both forces. Okay. So please take it step.
So he's talking about hierarchy out of the 10. So if he was whitewash Indian, then he's 4 out of 10. If he was a banchoed Indian, right, with curly hair and a banchoed beard and then banchoed pink work shirt and banchoed tapered dark pants and banchoed sneakers, no women are gonna like that. So
it's crazy, but I actually achieve this. Even during next story is really emotional for me. Because I never thought it would be possible. I never thought it would be possible to speak like I'm speaking to you without stuttering, with a lot of confidence. And I just thank John because he has been tested everything. And when I first told him I was interested, he told me to give this program just somebody bundle to St. Clair's. And it's thank you, August.
yeah, this is before. This is like a year ago before Elite Bundle Resurrections was invented. What a cool name, right? Resurrection, like Jesus or something. And sometimes some of you need to be resurrected too, because some of you guys are stuck.
It's essential skills. Which taught me how to talk to authentic language and about the job. It's something that I also get. Actually, what I should do to some of them to guide me and John focuses on minorities as well, just like one of the students. Also, all the success, all of the students are minorities, whether they are Jewish or black or Italian or Romanian or Indian, and Chinese, Asian, Filipino, Indian, and especially if Indians, yeah, it's difficult to actually attract even a white girlfriend in the country, but I managed to do this. So definitely recommend this. What I actually also got from the program was the fact that I had a lot of focus and really I did not have a very good tonality. I would have very bad Indian accent and nobody would understand me and make a lot of fun of me. So when the tonality was to course, it helped me to improve my tonality and it helped me to gain a lot of focus and confidence. And when I joined the inner circle, I got even more views, I got even more of the secret source, the arrow system.
Yeah, the arrow science. He learned the arrow science from joining the inner circle. You're like, John, I want to join the inner circle. Nope. Zip, it does not exist. I only invite people. You cannot, there's no way you can join the inner circle. You can beg me, you can give me like, John, I'll give you like $5,000 to join the inner circle. Nope, you can't join it. I will not accept it. I have to choose you. He's a good person. And also, he's already sexualized it. He just needed to know how to do the arrow science. You see that? Elite tonality mastery plus elite 30 plus arrow science automatically.
But the real proof is that as a the proof is that I'm very happy for coming in. Well, and this is just twice already, so it needs to get together now. I think the off. Thank you, John. Thank you for everything you've told me. Thank you for as my coach and messages when I was thank you for sharing me that in India. It's not point to see this message to all and the guys that you can become more than for the guy that one would like to make you become the bad thing, the good for the guy, the nerdy guy, you can be the objective guy, just the white girl. And thank you, John, for sharing that.
Last call. There's still a chance to join the May.
Is that great? So that's the first 5-day challenge. So Ari got a student late. It's like, well, what about the second challenge? Did it get anybody late or did they just like nothing happen? Well, the second day game challenge did get people late. So I'll play a secret testimonial, okay, that I've never released yet. When you saw the other person, hey, what's up? So when you see the other student, I have not released this testimonial yet. I'm not even sure if it's on the other. Sometimes I like to upload on the second YouTube. So that way, let's just see if it's there. So I can still play their testimonials. Your videos. Okay, videos. Oh shit, it's not here. So it must be in the Google Drive. I'm not organized. I did everything like really last minute. But let's hear the guy who got a stripper. If it's here. All right. Recent. Stripper. Okay, here's a picture or there's a video of him and the stripper together. I cannot show you. Um, let's see here. What's the video? Oh shit. I need to censor that one. Where the fuck is it? I can't really see it because oh, that's not good. Talk about lack of organization. I was gonna show you that video. Okay, so oh, for fuck's sake, let me type stripper. STRIPPER. Shit, there's only one of them. Oh, there's two of them, but let me try to figure this out, okay? Because this one would be good. My drive. Oh, for fuck's sakes, man. So as long as I can figure out the name, then we can find where the stripper is. So, all right. What's the name of it? Oh shit, man. Oh, it could be on the second one, on the second Google Drive. Yeah, possibly. So this one's not the stripper one. I might upload it to this one. Yeah, here it is. I got it, guys. Sorry for the delay. Oh, okay. Question. Let's answer the question. So, hope I'm not jumping the gun, but could you briefly go over the V-taper workout? I cannot talk about it here. I can give it to you on the Elite Access if you're part of my Elite Bundle Resurrections. So ask me that on the WhatsApp. I cannot teach people here. It's top secret. But that's part of the arrow because you want to have a feather, right? The V-shaped body along with the whitewash fashion. So, and the arrow body is social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. And the arrow tip is maneuver sexualized objections looping. But here's the testimonial of the Asian guy. Let's talk about him. This Asian student, he pulled a stripper and not in the club, but on the streets. He met her Daygaming. He got a date and he pulled her to her place. She slept, right? It was before Mother's Day. So it was like, I'm not sure when Mother's Day was, but it was probably during the May 5-day challenge. So she slept entire day, right? And she left him in the fucking apartment. And it's not like, I told him, right? You better not walk in there and try to sexualize it and wake her up. You're gonna lose her. At first he thought I messed up his pull, right? And she says, well, we'll go back on a date afterwards. She has to go fly to visit her mother in a different state. At first he thought, oh no, John was wrong, right? But John's never wrong. Ever for Daygame, ever. So I said, don't worry about it. She's gonna come back out. She likes you. She did come back out. And then I told him it'll build more trust. If he doesn't try to escalate her, then she knows that she can trust him. If he tried to escalate her, he's gonna lose her. And he thought he lost her. So she invited him back to her place. He learned the arrow science from me and also the elite tonality mastery the first time around when he first pulled her, but he didn't get to use it. But when she came back after the trip, he sexualized it, he handled the objections, and he closed for Daygame. Elite tonality mastery again. You see that? It's like a magic formula. Elite tonality mastery plus the arrow science equals another video testimonial for John Elite. Isn't that great? Because I told him this. His cortisol was affecting his voice. He sounded very depressed. And he's like, really? I was like, dude, you're talking fast. I've never heard you so depressed in my life. He's like, I'm depressed? Yeah, dude, you gotta slow it down and you gotta sound more whitewashed. He's like, what's whitewash? I taught him all that stuff, all the lessons for elite tonality mastery. He went through the course. And then I was like, let's just see what happens. And this, he got laid and he sent me a video testimonial. He moved in with her. He moved in. They're living in the same place. They're together. She's paying for everything. She can afford it. She's a stripper. She makes so much money every single night stripping that it doesn't even matter. It's like she can afford to have him there. Here's his testimonial. Ready, guys? Remember, Marco was asking if you can get someone 8 and above. Of course you can. This year, in 2025. The answer is here. It's not Elite 30 and this and that. No, it's Aero Science plus Elite Tonality Mastery. Automatic, like, so you want 8 plus? Easy. Listen. She's saying that he's saying that she's 21 years old. I mean, she's Gen Z. I mean, she's like quite independent. She makes more money than most of you guys. She's only 21 years old. And she has her own apartment, which is very nice, and a ton of clothes. Yeah.
Subtle differences in tone. All the difference between it's literally statement to the universe to all of your attention. Told. It's told. Three house movers. If you're not up until now, you're cooked. With the recession, you're cooked.
Yeah, he's saying like the recession and the tariff. So,
you're not up until now. You're cooked. With the recession,
what does he mean by you're cooked? Because the recession, it's not a recession, but the tariff and also the inflation is going to affect your state of mind. Does that make sense? It's going to affect your voice. He's saying you're cooked, you're destroyed if you don't get this fixed, because your voice will start to sound very depressed. So I taught him, he says very subtle differences in tone. It changes everything. It raises the 2.5 points. Don't you get the mathematics? It's perfect for 20 out of 35. If you can raise your 2.5 points for emotional control, right? In the past, it was minus 2.5, right? Now it's plus 2.5 from minus 2.5. So what does that mean? That's like fucking 5 points difference. A big fucking jump. And then when you add Elite 30 and you mix it with Aero Science, that's game tactics. Boom, automatic same fucking delay easily. This was not a same delay, but that's a stripper right there. Don't you guys get it? Minus 2.5 plus 2.5, minus 2.5 plus 2.5. So if you're plus 2.5, everything else you do with my training automatically works. And that's proof right there. He's from the second May 5-day challenge. It's not like something I'm making up. I'm not just talking on my ass here. I mean, I'm the only coach that's consistently getting students laid. And in the beginning of the year, another student, he got like 2 lays in one day in 2025, and he got another lay. He got 3 lays for the Jewish white student. And other students were getting married and stuff. I was posting their testimonials. Come on now. Yeah, when he says downward spiral, that dude was being rejected to hell and back, left and right. You guys may be thinking, well, isn't it 10,000 approaches? No, nothing happened until he trained with me. An Asian guy. And all these other Asian people ignored me because they'd rather suck queefing canceled Casanova's banana, yellow banana, as hard as they can. Because when the Asian has to look at the coach, they look at their looks, they look at their height, they look at their muscles. I'm not that good looking, but today I'm not bad. You know, I was fatter than the last 5-day challenge. I'm not tall, I'm 5'7". I'm not good looking, but I'm okay. But I have zero muscles, I'm skinny fat. The other Asians cannot stop sucking off queefing cancel Casanova's yellow banana. They're literally connected to it. If not that, they'll listen to other people like ABCs because that guy's getting stronger and is good looking compared to me. He was fatter than me and less good looking. So they cannot do it because Asians are Asperger's. That's the problem. They know that they cannot do it during a tariff and inflation, so they just given up and they say, oh, why not go to Colombia and just be a passport bro and hopefully you don't get scopamine, right? That's the Asians. All pissed off at me. They're all offended by me. Yet I'm getting another Asian lady. And it happened so fast.
All these changes when you have the right to balance. I can be done what happens. Really, really hard pull because otherwise we have enough to. We cannot do it. That's been my job for weeks. It was really hard. But it was worth it. That's all I have to say.
Wow, right? Come on, give him a clap. Everyone, give him a fucking clap. Right? And she's like attractive. She's really pretty and she has really big like fucking titties. Good job. Good job. I mean, he got rejected hell and back so badly. And look at him now. He has a stripper and he's still with her. They're having sex 3 times a day now. And she loves him so much that, you know, she wants to meet his parents. And she wants him to meet her parents. Who knows? He told me that he loves her and maybe he might get married with her. So we'll see what happens. This is who he wants to spend the rest of his life with. A 21-year-old stripper. The halo effect? That's a good question. So what's the halo effect, right? JP, that's a wonderful question. The halo effect means it's not like the halo, like it's not like the video game Halo. Okay, so it's more like a halo effect is that one trait of a coach that you see, right? And then he might have 10 bad traits. Like Queefing Cancel Casanova. That guy's, their students pulled underage girls in like fucking Brazil or something, and they're running away from the police and all the courts there, right? But if he's tall and strong, that's a halo effect. That's just one trait. That everything else doesn't matter. So, exactly. So, make sure you use your elite access more, right? Follow what works. So, having said that, does that make sense? So if a coach is white, right, and the guy never done the same day lay on a video, you never see a white dating coach go beyond like just, they call it pull to a cap. Tall self-proclaimed high lay count guy, coach only pull to a cab. Todd V pull to a cab. All the other coaches pull to a cab. You never see same day lay from proof in the bedroom because they can't do it. They're all zombies, but because they're white and the sheeps are like sociopathic and they're autistic, they assume that the coach is good because of the halo effect. Does that make sense? It's like saying a person that is good looking is automatically more trustworthy, or a person that's white is automatically more trustworthy. He must be good with women. Or a person that's really good looking, he must be good with women. That's what they call the halo effect. You take one trait and all the other bad traits are ignored. That's what the halo effect is. you must never, ever, ever fall for the halo effect because you can be misled by the halo effect. So that's exactly a very important point, you know? And that's what people keep falling for. That's a very wonderful question. Maybe I'll find a way to work that into the FAQ. On day number 5, I'm going to take all your questions. So ask as many as you want. I'm going to take your questions. I'm going to put them all into a FAQ and answer them all at once. Does that sound good? So go ahead and ask your questions. I want more questions. That's great. So, hey, you look like as videos, and when Queefing Casanova is talking to girls, he squares up and he's squeamishly shaking his leg nervously. Well, think about it this way: he's a biotech engineer, so therefore he's gonna put his hands in his pocket, and then he's gonna look autistic as shit, and he's only gonna escalate to Asian women. And he'll tell them, oh, the students love Asian women, right? What's wrong with Asian women? They can't get white women. So, and that's Las Vegas. The place is hypersexualized down to fuck. It's easier. Las Vegas is like easy mode. So if they can't do it with white women, right? And he's shaking like that, and then he's autistic as shit, and he's just weird as fuck. Because he's a biotech engineer, because he's Asperger's, and people assume he must be good because he's tall and strong. That's all, because he has a halo effect. His infields are absolutely atrocious. It's worse than Jan Lifestyle. Both of them are completely autistic, and both of them are like psychopaths. They have no remorse, no guilt and remorse, and no emotional intelligence. Both of them. So, yeah, I mean, they don't care. They have no empathy and no guilt. And they're socially retarded. But that's the thing. People trust them because of the halo effect. I've same day late many times in videos. But the thing is that you never see that with Queefing Cancelled Casanova. It's only Night Game that happens. Not for Daygame. Not even ABCs or any of those people. The only instructors they pull the woman back home. And they become an instructor. They never had sex. It's all a gimmick. The other Asians cannot do it because they're too autistic and Asperger's. That's why they have to go to Colombia or go to Mexico or Latin countries, for third world countries. Maybe not this year because they cannot afford to leave anymore. But last year and the year before and the year before that one, during the pandemic, yeah. So, basically, for elite tonality mastery, for this Asian guy, he sexualized it, he handled the objections, he closed for Daygame, elite tonality mastery again, success leads clues. It hides the cortisol issues for emotional control category. The Latino Gen Z 21-year-old student, he maneuvered, he sexualized to the maximum and dealt with objections. He focused on the elite tonality mastery. He didn't want to buy the course, and I said, dude, you gotta get this course. In fact, Mr. M over there, he's actually your classmate. He's Mr. A. He's in the WhatsApp group. The next student we're talking about, the Gen Z Latino, he's the guy whose name starts with an A. But that's all I can say. No other details. But he's your classmate. Don't say his name. But he got laid. That's why in the group he's a little bit like taking more action. He goes to university and he's still able to make time for it. That's what you have to do, Mr. M. You have to make more time for this stuff and make it a higher priority, right? It's not like the last priority. Before, when he failed and he got kicked out, it was the last priority. Now I teach him that if you can make it higher priority, then you'll get laid, and he did. So that's a good lesson for you. All right. So where's this video testimonial? I'm gonna play at 1.5 speed. This is the Latino 21-year-old student, Gen Z. Is the same age as the other stripper. They're both 21 years old. I mean, most 21-year-olds Gen Z students are usually considered bad students, but I can get Gen Z laid. I have many Gen Z students laid. 27-year-old is a cutoff point for Gen Z, but this guy's 21. I have many young students laid. So let's hear it.
Hi, I am a 21-year-old Gen Z American student living in the US. And today with John's training and coaching, I've gotten laid. I've used Elite Bundle 2 and upgraded.
Let's see.
living in the US. And
Okay, so this is in May, right? But I forgot to write the date.
today, with John's training and coaching, I've gotten laid. I've used Elite Bundle 2 and upgraded it to Elite Tonality Mastery. And with the skills I learned, I was able to close with this older black woman just outside. Today is May 16th. This is technically Daygame.
May 16th, right? So the other guy was May 17th. So the Asian guy got laid May 17th. This guy got laid May 16th. It's just back to back. So he represents the 5-day challenge of the second one. Who is going to be the one who gets laid for the June 5-day challenge? We won't have another 5-day challenge in a long time because I started a little bit late in the middle of the month. But who's going to join my coaching and who's going to get their dicks wet and become a video testimonial? I'm looking for gritty people that have focus, who are not making excuses. Are you out there? I'm not here to pitch. I'm just here to get the message out. 20 out of 35. Elite Tonality Mastery, Aero Science, Automatic Lay. Anything else, it's just bullshit because other dating coaches cannot get people laid.
So, as I was walking outside my neighborhood in the streets, I saw this older woman who was black and a lot older than I was. Because I found her attractive, I approached her using the right tonality and the right skills.
Good.
I asked to see if she knew where the nearest 7-Elevens was, and
he was using the hybrid opener, the same opener, not direct game. None of my students goes direct. Direct is banned from my system because it's bench shooting.
But gladly showed me the way. She held my hand and guided me towards the 7-Elevens. There, I noticed that she was very...
Yeah, none of my students does it. Latinos, nobody does like direct. It won't work. You're off the line. Oh, you're cute. I want to come by and say hi. Oh, I love your style. Oh, in the beginning, I have a boyfriend. Then you're gonna make like fucking 30 approaches that day and act like a stupid Americano.
Turned on by me, and she was flirting with me continuously. So I flirted back, and eventually that led to interest. She wanted to take me back to her place, and I offered to use my car. That was when she had the idea to just have sex in my car. This just happened right now.
See that? Yeah. So maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum inside the car, and deal with the sexual objections. And bang, first lay from Daygame. Last time he got kicked out, he said, "Can I please come back? I promise I'll make Daygame the first priority. I'll do whatever you say." And I say, "Welcome back." And I say, "I know you're a student. You can barely afford Elite Tonality Mastery, but if you get it, you're probably gonna get laid." And he got it. He invested in himself.
I got laid, and I'm very grateful for John Elite and many other people as part of the inner circle who motivate me to try harder. To all my fellow Latinos, I say, do not give up, right? And believe that you can do it. But more importantly, just follow the right path. And thank you very much. This is my testimonial, and I hope to provide a lot more testimonials in the future. Right after that?
Yeah, he got another hand job.
On May 16th, this student even got a hand job from another woman on May 26th. Didn't go further, she was mentally unstable, so he did the smart thing and moved on. What's wild, last year, this guy was one of the worst students in the group. Just goes to show, you can turn things around fast if you actually follow the system. Honestly, most Latinos this year have been the worst students, except for him. He's the exception. The rest are just atrocious. If you're Latino and want to train with me in the future, expect to sign a commitment contract. You need to step up. Next, you'll see a preview of an Asian student. He got laid on May 17th.
Yeah, this is the stripper over here. I'm not sure if you could see it, but this thing cuts off a little bit, but hopefully you can... you can't really see it, but yeah, you get the point. You can always look at the, hey, what's up? So I'm glad you're here, finally. So basically, we're talking about 20 out of 35. And I was playing a Latino student's testimonial. So he's a 21-year-old Gen Z Latino. He maneuvered, he sexualized it in the car, and he maximized like to the max in objections dealing. That's the Aero Science. Plus, he got Elite Tonality Mastery. 20 out of 35 automatically lay. It's that simple. Right? So 20 out of 35. In the Western country, people get laid from London, United States. So if you want these results, work on your Aero Science with my training. You can't do it by yourself. Come on now. Master your tonality and stack your points. Say I if you're ready to do what actually works. Say in a comment or say in your head, say I. So I want to talk about 3 students, right? And I already talked about them. And I already showed you their video testimonials. That's what they achieved. Okay? So we don't have to go through that again. So but that's the solution to everything. We went to a lot of details. I just rewrote everything. Like, we can just skip this section. I'm just looking over what I wrote, right? I just basically rewrote everything I just said, right? When we're playing their video testimonial. All right, so this is what I said about the. This is a Gen Z. Oh yeah, this is what I said. This is what I wrote about the Gen Z. This is the other section, right? It's longer, but I said the same thing twice almost. The first year he was here, he got kicked out. He wasn't doing any of the homework assignments. He went through a phase of Latino fuck behavior. I'll talk more about that later in the video, but we saw the video, or we heard it. He became stubborn. He had a meltdown, and it was like talking to a zombie. He believed that school was more important than pickup. Right now, he's still going to exams and stuff, and he's still doing all the homework assignments here. He does not miss anything, because after he got laid, he trusts me completely. Of course, his mind changed later. He didn't have the full fashion before, right? So he only bought the entire whitewash fashion at the very last minute. He had the pants that's a similar color, but he's like, John, I want to use your exact pants, right? I don't want to use the one he bought. And I was like, fuck, you're gonna be wasting more money. And it's like, no, I want that pants. I was like, okay, fine. And he got it in the dress shirt too, and he got laid right there on the spot. Exactly, awesome. So he got laid on the spot. He didn't have the money to upgrade his wardrobe. He's like really like, he's only 21. He's kind of broke. But he was delusional before. He couldn't see his mistakes. He couldn't hear it. He had a weird hunch. He's always like hunching like this. Hey, John, how's my hunch going? It's like, I can't see it. It's like, are you delusional? I can't see it. His self-esteem was so low. Every single time we say, like, watch this as if it's your cousin Alex. And he's like, he has a cousin called Alex. So he looks at the videos, like, oh, I'm hunching. He can only see it when he thinks it's his cousin. Right? So, question, how long was he kicked out for? He was kicked out for like around 4 or 5 months or something like that. And then he came back. Because it's not that he got kicked out. It's more like I didn't let him renew it. After his term was over, I was just like, fuck off and don't come back. And it's not like that. It's like he had a meltdown, a Latino fuck behavior. And then afterwards, I just didn't talk to him anymore. I knew I thought he quit. But you know what Latino fuck behavior? Number one track mind, right? One step, everything, right? Stubborn, like whatever. Number two, the wrong path, the sociopath. They'll blow up in your face in 4 months. That's what he did. Yeah, 4 months, roughly 4 months. Number three, he'll have a meltdown, or you're talking to a zombie, and then nothing they say makes sense. And then he's just talking about how he did not make it a priority. Number four, Latinos will quit. Number five, they'll always come back and resurrect themselves. All Latinos resurrect themselves. They quit because they're stubborn, but they always come back. They never ever quit for good because they're too stubborn to quit. Latinos will keep going in a circle like that, but they'll go back to stage one, which is a one-track mind, Latino fuck behavior. Every single time. They can't change. Isn't that weird? They can't fucking change that. So, of course he came back. It's just in his nature. He has to come back because they're too stubborn to quit. That's Latinos. So, yeah, 4 months, roughly, when he was gone. Maybe longer, but something like that. So, having said that, he had a weird hunch and all this other stuff. He needed to fix these issues because he kept forgetting. And that's where the 640 concept comes in. He had to watch every video 6 times. And I'm pretty sure for the students that are in the chat, I make you watch all the videos 6 times and take notes on the Google document, right? So you guys cannot fake this. Marco especially. He has to go through every video 6 times before he wouldn't do it. Now he cannot forget. People don't remember shit. And Mr. M over here, you haven't gone through it even once. Your focus is not good enough. Get some supplements. But all the other students have to, even if you're in the chat, all of you have to go through these videos 6 times to imprint it. It's more about imprinting your memory, otherwise you'll forget. He had to watch every video 6 times to imprint his memory. Then he had to make a video calling himself out for his mistakes, and he had to listen to it 40 times before every single approach. So that way he could become more changeable. His video will be like saying his name. You need to stand 45 degrees, say his name. You need to say, "Oh, by the way, I just noticed something about you," with a higher note. Oh, and then Mr. whatever your name is. He'll talk to himself in the video, right? And then afterwards, he'll pin it. When he pin it, he has one for approaching, and he also have one for homework assignments. So in case he keeps making the same mistakes, this is like a neural link. He can correct it right here. Once it's corrected right there, guess what? No problem. He'll just watch the video. People don't have a memory these days because it's all wiped out by the tariff and inflation. If you're broke and the cortisol hits, the more you win, the more testosterone you get. Don't mind, no, it's getting super itchy, I don't know why. And then the more you lose, the more cortisol you get, the more your memory becomes wiped out. I have many students, especially Latinos, who basically have no working memory. It's all wiped out. They don't remember what happened the day before. Like, what homework? Did you said that? They don't remember. They're like zombies. They're going day by day. The only thing they can remember is their job, nothing else. They're like NPCs, right? Non-playable characters. So that means he had to make a video once listing all his mistakes that I told him. Then he had to listen to it 40 times and he gets it. He had to fix every mistake. And then when he finally fixed it, he got laid. It was a street game at night, but it was still day game. As long as you don't go inside the fucking nightclub. He pulled a woman to his car and he had sex with her. Maneuver, sexualize it to the maximum, objections looping. That was his first lay for day game, and it was the same day lay. And he finally did it. But the day before that, he was finally changed his fashion, like I said. He finally got the right pants, and I told him you don't need to spend money on it, but he insists. He wanted the exact same shirt as my other students, and some of you have upgraded your fashion recently. So let's see, a question here. You're giving away all the secrets. Join that deserves like a right. Everyone drop it for like or true. Yeah, thank you very much. The way I see it, right? Here's my philosophy. I can give away the strategy, but doesn't mean you can do it without my training. You want the tactics, you come and you join Elite Bundle Resurrections. You may know what the strategy is. And you're like, oh yeah, John says I need to focus on the arrow science and I got to focus on my tonality. And also I need to learn how to watch a video 6 times and I need to like make a video calling my mistakes out, right? You're saying I'm giving away the secret sauce, right? And I shouldn't. But think about it this way. How would they know what video to make for their mistakes? They cannot see their own mistakes. They're delusional. How would they know? Second of all, they have to maneuver sexualized objections looping. How would they know that without training how to deal with objections or how to sexualize it? How would they know? They don't. Or you might be thinking, well, you're teaching them about the tonality secrets. How would they know what exercises or what videos to watch 6 times? They have no idea. So unless you're trained with me, you may know the strategy, but the tactics, you don't know shit. So unfortunately, this is the only way, is to train with me. Now I better update the sales letter. I do have a slight discount, but not as much as last time. The price is $940 this time. I'm going to raise it up by $5. You're still saving $60. So if you get it today, you can get a discount. But I'm not here to pitch. I won't be pitching until a couple of videos in. Okay? But I do want to talk about it because it's related to this. So if you want a discount, and if you want to pay for like 3 pieces separately, we'll just take 940 divided by 3. And then you're good to go. A lot of people already got the first for Elite 30. A lot of people joined Elite 30 last time around. Like recently, a lot of Indians and a lot of Canadians. They bought 1/3 of the Elite Bundle Resurrections. 1/3. But they cannot afford the other pieces. But they still invested, so in the future, they can always invest more and then upgrade to it. It's that simple. So, okay, question. I'm meeting a white wingman. We're going to keep banging the guns, so to speak, and take some action. So I'll see if I can come back to live in a little bit. Here's what my advice for you is, right? Do you need wingmen in general? Because you're always approaching the same area all the women expects pickup artists is to approach, right? I'm assuming you're probably from somewhere that close to me. If that's the case, you guys are all going into the kill zone. That's where women expect to be picked up. I'll talk to you more about this afterward. Eventually, you should be doing it by yourself. And I can teach you all the secret areas to pick up that does not have a defensive shield. Does that make sense? The most you guys can do is just get an instant date to nowhere and then stay 15 minutes on the first venue. Hint, hint, right? It's like, don't give away secret sauce. All right, but I won't say anything more. But you better finish your mental trauma stuff for homework. All right, so he wanted my exact shirt, and the other students have the exact same pants, the exact same watch, the same shoe. Everything's the same. So this way is like exactly, unlike last year, he couldn't afford to buy a new shirt or buy a new pants. He just had to use like some kind of purplish blue shirt that's baggy and then some white sort of or gray pants. That's all he could afford. Like he couldn't afford it. He recycled his clothing. It did not get him laid. Now he changed it. He wasn't willing to compromise on anything. And even worked on hard, like it worked on hood rats. Some people think it only works for white women because I'm always talking about, oh, my student banged another white girl, right? He banged a white girl. And people are always asking me, hey, John, does it work for hood rat Latinas or black women or something? They're like, I like hood rats, right? Does it work for them? He's wearing a whitewash fashion, banging a fucking hood rat. What do you think? Of course it works. It works for everyone. So if he's banging a hood rat, and that's what, he's attracted to, good for him. But that debunks the idea that you can't bang a hood rat because they're too whitewashed. You can only bang the Latina whitewashed AOC types, or you can only bang the black women that are like whitewashed. It's not true. You can bang the hood rats. The ones that draws their own eyebrows, right? The ones who works as a Latina nurse. But in reality, she's ratchet as shit. All right. So, as I was saying, then a week after, he got a hand job from another hood rat. So, I don't know why, but he attracts hood rats. The reason why he did not get laid is I told him, like, she's fucking crazy, right? And she was so crazy that when he pulled her home, right, and got a hand job, his parents did not like her. So he had to get rid of her. And then she was just kind of, she sounded like she's like a little bit mentally off, mentally irregular. So I said, just cut her loose, right? Don't bother, right? It's not worth it. And he said, okay, no problem. So yeah, one leg, one hand job. So let's talk about, I'm just scrolling down. This was just talking about the Asian student because we already talked about him and I was just writing in more details. But we already heard it, so we don't have to hear it again for him getting a stripper. So before we wrap up, I want to quickly mention there was another student and whose story really stands out. This guy is a Jewish white student. So he's going to represent the Jews and he's also going to represent the whites, right? So that means we got like a white person laid, this year. We got a Latino, we have an Asian, and we have an Indian. But yeah, I mean, this guy has 20 lays, 2 in one day. So I could play his testimonial, of course, just to, because we can hear the testimonials here, which is good. Because you see the blue thing, right? And the music and stuff. I can't do that with just YouTube Live. Let's see, is there a better way to see all the videos? Okay, now I can see it. It was just the view was a little bit different. Let's see if I can find his testimonials. Because there's so many of them. I'm just scrolling through all the lay pics. Hold on a second. Oh, that thing's stuck now. Oh, here it is. So there's many lays that he has. Oh, wait a minute. I think I actually put all the lays into one video. And that's on the second YouTube channel. I secretly put in the video. Let's go play it. I know we should not spoil everything. Maybe we just go to the last 3 of them, right? It should be here unless I fucked up. Oh no, I didn't fucking upload this one again. Am I like fucking... Did I fuck up here? Alright, we'll just go play his video testimonials. So it should be number we'll find it. It should be number 20 for his lay. 20th lay. See if I can find it. I'm trying to scroll as fast as I can, so let's see here. Maybe he's down there somewhere. No, not good. Yeah, I need to put all his testimonials together for... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Alright, I'll search in Drive. Maybe you can find it here. I'll put his name. Okay, here's 20th lay. Let's hear it.
This is another testimonial for John Elite. Today is February 6th, 2025.
So that's February, right? So he represented earlier. Every single month people got laid. Or they pulled a woman home. So, or they got married. Except for March. But every other month.
Yesterday, I had not one but 2 plays in Daygame.
2 lays. In one fucking day.
The second play was the same day lay. One morning, I was at my guest house hotel, and there was a woman there. She was with 2 men, and she was just leaving, getting on a motorcycle with one of the men, and I approached the 3 of them, and I told him, hey, your girlfriend's really beautiful. And she laughed and said, oh no, this is my brother-in-law, or my stepbrother. And we chatted for a bit. She gave me her contact. And then later in the evening, she messaged me and said she wanted to meet. So we met. We went to my place. That's how it went. And again, just another one of these reminders, another one of these voices telling you to take action. This result might sound unbelievable.
Yeah, 2 lays in one day, right? So it's possible this year.
You have 2 lays in one day from Daygame. Just from Daygame. Just to going and talking to people, strangers in the street. It's all possible. I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you. Deliver this message to you. It's all possible for you. You need to take action. You need to coach with John. And it won't always be easy.
Of course
I'm not gonna lie. But just keep going. And you can't imagine what's possible for you. I promise.
I mean, I hope that got through to some people. That it is possible to get 2 lays in one day. And for him, he's got 20 lays. And right now, he quit the game after the 20th lay to spend time with his 8 out of 10 Ukrainian woman. They're still traveling together right now. It's like a courtship situation. He quit the game for her. So she was like the 15th lay or something, or number 14, I believe. But you see that? Success leaves clues. His results, honestly, they're pretty impressive. He got 2 lays in one day. And then he got a separate like lay shortly afterwards, but that's 3 lays all in the same year. And last year he got 17 lays from Daygame. What's interesting is that he was mostly practicing elite tonality mastery concepts before the course officially came out. That means he was going on elite access and he was doing the whitewash tonality over and over. He's probably done it like over like, I don't know, like 25 times. So that's why he's so good. All he ever did was practice that. So you can see that when he can do a same day lay, and he also mixed it with elite tonality mastery. That's the secret. Those two together equals non-stop lays. 2024, 17 lays. 2025, 3 lays. And that was around February and then whatever. Then yeah, success leaves clues. Imagine he did not quit game for that Ukrainian 8 out of 10. Imagine he continued. Then guess what will happen? He will just keep getting laid. He'll probably get over 100 lays or maybe 50 by the end of the year. But he didn't continue. But during the time he did train with me, was it worth it? I mean, he was always drilling, right? And refining his tonality. And that was the main focus. He's already worked on his body language, you know, that Elite 30 kind of stuff. Yeah, he's mastered the social skills flow drill. He can do it every single time. That's very rare. So those things come naturally to him. He's not a beginner either. He's already has 20 lays, but when he started out, he was like a newbie to Daygame. He went to another fucking boot camp with another white dating coach. And guess what? He got laid for night game, but he did not get laid for day game. Night game is 15 out of 35. Day game is 20 out of 35. He did not get laid for day game. So when he was training under me, 20 lays. During the tariff and the inflation, it's not easy, but he's able to do it. Success leaves clues. So, but yeah, I'll talk more about him later. This is just a preview of the recent testimonial. Especially there's 3 lays and 2 of them in one day. And all of this was from practicing elite tonality mastery. Or the drills I gave him through elite access because he didn't have elite tonality mastery. Maybe I could tell him right now, hey, do you want to buy elite tonality mastery? And he'd probably be like, no, I want to spend time with the Ukrainian. Now here's the twist. He decided to quit the game, right? And spend time with that Ukrainian woman. 8 out of 10. Out of all his lays, she's the one that likes him the most. She's 8 out of 10. And they're traveling together as a couple. And the last I've heard, you know, I haven't told him about the new product yet. He might see the preview of this video, but he won't watch it. But the relationship has turned into more of a courtship. So that's why I'm telling you this. Because success leaves clues. Because it proves that every ethnicity has gotten laid with my system. Indians, Asians, Latinos, whites, Jewish, everyone. And oh yeah, another black student has 100 lays with my system. So he has 100 lays. We don't have time to get into everyone, but he gave me that, like, I screenshot that in March. He says, your system has attributed him to 100 lays. So we got black, we got white, we got Jewish, we have like Asian, we have Indian, we have like Latino. Where the fuck are the Middle Easterns besides crashing out? Another Middle Eastern student that got like 20 something lays in a model girlfriend under my training. He bought the elite tonality mastery, but he crashed out. He gone totally red pill because a woman cheated on him. So his girlfriend, who was a model, another model, second model, she cheated on him and he lost his fucking mind. And then he shifted the blame. We'll talk about it on day 3, why you should not shift the blame. And he I don't know. He became like he had less money. He used to make like when I taught him Elite 30 and he got the course in my training, he was making six figures all cash, Canadian dollars. Now I don't know. I mean, he's mentally self-destructed. So if you're Middle Eastern and you're not fucking crazy, train here. We got Jews here. We have Latino. We have all the other ethnicities. So where the fuck are you guys? All right, come on now. Yeah, it's crazy shit that you're seeing with Israel. Remember how I predicted all that? Do you guys remember that? I predicted that Israel was gonna attack Iran. So I actually posted this like exactly 11 months ago, in case you guys don't remember. So I reposted the screenshot. I can't believe how fucking accurate it was. The only thing I ever got wrong was that I got the Canadian elections wrong, but for this one, you can see it. I made a whole list full of predictions. You can't see it, but it's like highlighted. Biden will be forced out of the race. That was before it happened. This is near the end, not the beginning. He's going to fight to the very end. Something will happen near the end. We're talking about 85% of the race. Yeah, Kamala Harris. So that psychic prediction was right. Hey, maybe they might try Kamala or they'll try Gavin Newsom. I did not know which one of the two, but I knew it was one of the two. So I remember exactly. There's an attempt on Donald Trump's life, most likely my psychic prediction, I could be wrong. And then after like less than a week, they would have an assassination attempt. It's going to delay the election date to the next president a little bit longer, but Donald Trump would be, in the end, remain victorious. He was the president. I was right. No charges will stick against Donald Trump. Well, I mean, there's no jail time, and that's what I meant. But there'll be prosperity with Donald Trump in a few years. So after the tariff thing, it's going to be, the United States is going to be rich as fuck. It's going to work, guys. It's going to be slow. Everything will start to reverse itself. My business, the finally skyrocket with the skills I've learned from even without the boot camps. We're talking about boot camps today. Israel will still fight with Hamas, and this has happened. They believe the only thing that it can do is stop everything, including Iran having nukes. They're going to stop the entire proxy war this way. They're going to go for the end goal. What I mean by that is they're going to knock out the reactors. Palestine would be taken over and not be given the land back. I mean, like Hamas area for what's that place called? Hamas is there. It's like right in between. They're gonna expand their borders even across the Lebanon. That's what I know. Okay, they're gonna move to Hezbollah. That happened. They're going to move on to Iran. They're here to clear everybody out and destroy the entire place. They do not care about the United Nations. That's true. That means they're going to go after nuclear facilities. China president, he's going to lose eventually, and it's all going to be broken up in a few pieces for China. These are my psychic predictions, and they'll probably happen. That's what I wrote before 11 months ago. Maybe slightly different, but I'm around the same thing. So I never changed it. I was right, except for the Canadian government. But having said that, I went off on a little tangent. So we need more Middle Eastern students. We have a Jew, we have a white student, we have a black, we have everyone. We just need a Middle Eastern to complete my collection of students late. So having said that, as you can see, elite tonality mastery plus the arrow science is automatically late. 20 out of 35. So yeah, as I'm saying, as I'm reading over here, there's a black student with 100 lays. So if you're wondering if this works for your ethnicity or your situation, just look at the results. These are the strongest, most recent examples. And I want to talk about some real talk here. I want to be based as fuck for a second. That's like Gen Z talk, right? My 21-year-old student will understand it. Based mean like the way I speak. It's just like unfiltered. So what ethnicity would it do with a 20 lays again? That guy is half Jew, half white. I didn't know he was a Jew until afterwards. he found his biological father. He was adopted. And then he found out he was Jewish. And I was like, dude, I always said that you didn't look white enough, right? You got curly hair and stuff, and like you don't look like a Jew. And my other student was also a Jew who got laid last year. He got a girlfriend in Colombia. So that worked out for his day game. He got like 2 lays. And he has like blue eyes and stuff. So the guy is like, he looks kind of whitish, but he's a Jew. And he's a former IDF. So we had that in common. I learned Krav Maga, and he also was in the IDF. So Jewish people did just fine. Jewish people are very smart. Really, really smart. So as I'm saying, I know you might be thinking, okay, but is this really the right system for me, right? Like, it's a normal thought to think. I mean, does it actually work for someone like me? With my background, my challenge, my situation, whether you're Latino or you're Black or you're Asian or you're Indian, right? But honestly, that's a fair question. And I'll be asking it too if I were in your shoes. So here's this straight answer. No cap, baseless fuck. Yes, this system works if you're willing to actually work on your mindsets and your grit. Let me explain why. And I want to keep it as real and simple as possible. You see, the 20 out of 35 system I teach isn't just some random theory. It's not one of those, oh, maybe it might work for some people, but not for others. No, I've seen it work for every ethnicity. White students, Black students, Middle Eastern, Latinos, Indians, Asians, you name it, Jewish people. And I'm not just saying that, I mean Italian too. I've tracked the numbers. I've seen the testimonials. I watch every guy from every background cross that line and get their dicks wet with my coaching. So you might be wondering, right? Why is that? Like, is it really that universal? Yes, it is. Because once you hit the line of fuckability, 20 out of 35, you automatically get your dick wet for Daygame, no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're starting at a 10 out of 10 status being white or 1 out of 10 Asian. Every ethnicity has their own starting point. So if you're Latino, for example, like Mr. M, you're going to be starting around like a 5 out of 10. Okay? Used to be 7, now it's 5. That's your starting line. If you're a whitewash Indian, that's 4. Bench-coat Indian, 2. Asian, 1. Asian wash, 0. Everyone has to compensate. They start here, and then we work around the rest. Whether it's in the value category for looks, money, status, for the fashion, everything, or they work on the skill set. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. 2.5 points each, but altogether is 10. There's still a 10-point system there. So, having said that, when you look at it, every ethnicity has a starting point and its own material for the arrow, so to speak. But the process is the same for the arrow science. You just compensate with different skills to push yourself past the threshold and unlock success. So if you're sitting there thinking, oh, maybe I'll be the exception, it won't work for me, right? Well, it depends. I want you to just say I in your mind. If you get that, it's really about your score and not your background. Say I. Whether you want to type it out or you want to say it in your head. Because it is not about your race. We got an Asian laid, we got an Indian laid, we have a Latino laid, and we have a Jewish and white person laid. And also a Black student has 100 lays. It's not about your race. Unless you're Middle Eastern, you're a little bit fucking crazy this year. Not joking. So, having said that, let's get even more real. The next question is, it pops up the most is, maybe this system works. Okay, John, you've proven that the 20 out of 35 has 665 laid and testimonials for Daygame. Okay, good for you, John. You have more laid testimonials than every other Daygame coach in the world combined. Okay, good. But you might think to yourself, can I actually do it? Am I the kind of guy who can pull this off? That's what you'll be thinking. Obviously. And that's a super common doubt. Don't get me wrong here. Maybe you tried things before from other coaches. Maybe you might tell yourself always the same thing when people don't get laid. Oh, I used to listen to Dave Wagnat or something like that. It's like, oh, fuck that guy. Or I used to listen to like Mystery or some other shit. These are the old school guys. They never get laid from Dave Wagnat. Only Daygame at most. And maybe you've seen other guys succeed and thought, yeah, but they're different, right? But here's what I want you to really, like, I want to be honest with you, that this does depend on you, but not in the way you think. It is not about being born a certain way or having a magical talent. It's about your mindsets, your willingness to actually do the work. Mr. M, this is something that you can relate to. Skill set without mindset will lead to upset because you have to do a mindset playlist. So let's break this down for you. Because even my other white student who's breaking down mentally, he was in the chat here. He did the mindset playlist, but I did not finish updating it afterwards. Because once you finish the mindset playlist, in red, I'm going to tell you what your mistakes are. You're going to have to connect them together with your 10 takeaways. And then I'm going to create a text to speech audio for you that is going to call you out, and then it's going to hard reset your mindset. Like, John, don't tell all the secrets. Well, you don't even know what your mistakes are, so how is this going to work for you? You guys won't have the mindset playlist unless you join the webinar, the same day late webinar. Then you can get the mindset playlist. Otherwise, you will not get it. So these are 5 mindsets that are critical for improving your 20 out of 35 score. Like I said, skill set without mindset will lead to upset. I'll say this again. Skill set without mindset will lead to upset. So mindsets are important. Without mindsets, you'll go slow. You won't implement. You make excuses. You won't make it a priority. I score everything out of 10. So, oh, you have another system that has a lot of 10-point stuff. Yeah. And if you didn't get laid recently with like my other students, most likely your mindset score is quite, it's quite low. And you might give yourself a high score. You're like, okay, what's your teachability score? John, I am 6 out of 10. No, divide by 2 is actually 3. No, John, I'm not that teachable. I'm 4. No, it's 2. Does that make sense? My skill index, I'm at least a 3 or 4. No, you try like 1 or 2. So people don't have good mindsets, especially during the inflation with cortisol. The ones who are sociopathic and making excuses, they don't have good mindsets because they're not teachable. So the first one is teachability. Are you willing to listen? Can you take feedback, even if it stings a little, and use that to get better? That's scored out of 10. Second, changeability. Are you able to adapt when things aren't working? Mr. M, you got to improve these aspects because it's very low because you have not even finished the first lesson of your social skills flow drill because you're too busy, or you say you have 2 jobs, too many excuses and not making a priority. That's not teachable. Teachability is 0. Changeability. How can you be changeable if you never was teachable? So we'll work on that with supplementation and focus. But this is how it works. Teachability and changeability. Are you able to adapt when things aren't working? Or do you just keep doing the same things and hoping for a different result? Third of all, it's called the skill index. Most of the people do not have skills. Skills is hard to learn. Are you actually practicing and executing the drills accurately? That's how you raise the score. Or are you just going through the motions? Let me just look at this other student, right? Okay. Yo, you're probably sleeping because you're in London right now. But this particular one failed. But if it failed, you might fail this entire week. And I don't want to fail you. You make the changes, right, to your stance in your homework assignment for the next one. I'll give this one a pass. I know I shouldn't. But you got to be more changeable. You cannot just forget and just create zombie steps out of nowhere because you've forgotten. All right, I'm just sending to a black student from London. So, all right, I'm just going, don't go, just go through the motions. And in terms of skill set, There's really 4 steps. Unconscious incompetence. You have no idea what the fuck your mistakes are. Just like Mr. M, I told you to get supplements. Later on, I'll give you a list of supplements. A lot of Latinos are not very well focused this year. They've been some of the worst students next to white students. So it'll help the hardware. After unconscious incompetence, it becomes conscious incompetence. That's when I said to the other Latino guy, whenever he sees his homework assignment, like it is Alex, his cousin, then he can see all his mistakes. Then he becomes conscious incompetence. He knows he fucked up, but he can see why, because he's not delusional. Most people are delusional. They cannot hear their own mistakes. I had the worst student of the year, this half Latino, half white guy. He's like, I can't hear my own mistakes. You're gaslighting me, John. You're telling me I'm sounding angry. It's like, and I call another Latino student, and the guy's like, yeah, you sound angry as fuck, dude. But he doesn't want to listen to that, and he's gone. So you have to be conscious. Then you get to conscious competence. Very few students get here. When they get here, they have to drill it down more and more until it's second nature. Because one student was drilling down his whitewash tonality, he improved a lot, but only 30% of it showed up in his infield. So he's still stuck because he wasn't changeable. You know who you are, Mr. Approaching with your other white wingman. So 4th is believability index. You must believe that you can get your dick wet, because whether you believe it or not, you are right. I'll say this again. Whether you believe you can do it or not, you are right. So if you believe you can do it, you're going to do it. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't do it. Because you'll always cock block yourself. Whether it's in the vibe or when you pull her home, you're going to fuck it up on purpose. You subconsciously. You're going to do something. Your body is going to fuck it up because you have this inner game issue. Because you don't believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to take much action. You're not going to be teachable and changeable, so you won't gain much skill. Believability index is super important. Because look, these guys who got laid have less SMV than you guys, and they're getting strippers. Even they're 21, they're still getting laid. And also another person, an Indian person, gets a white girlfriend in London. What the fuck? That's what I'm saying. What the fuck indeed? So, and the last one is unconscious competence. That's when you become a natural. None of my students have ever reached that level because they're too ADHD. They're always running away from homework assignments. Nobody has ever reached mastery to the second nature. So, do you really believe you can do it? Or are you just hoping for a miracle, right? Number 5 is manifestation, thoughts and feelings. Oh, for the Latinos, they have really fucked up feelings. Or if you're black pilled or a red pilled. So the thoughts are all fucked. The feelings are all fucked. So are your thoughts and emotions positive and clear? Or are you dragging yourself down with negativity and self-doubt? So if you're Asian masculinity, you're MGTOW, you're red pill, you're black pill, your thinking patterns are fucked. And your emotions are shifting the blame. You're going to get angry. Oh, it's female nature. That's the problem. Oh, it's the fucking economy for MGTOW. Oh no, it's the jawline angle, right? I don't have a good jawline, and Wheat Waffle says that I look like a 4 out of 10 or some shit like that. And then the angles are wrong for my maxilla. Like, shut the fuck up. Seriously. And then there's grit, right? You need to have a growth mindset. I mean, it's good that for 20 out of 35, aeroscience, elite tonality mastery, but you need to have a fucking growth mindset. And you need to see the setbacks as opportunities. And you're probably like, what do you mean? Okay, that sounds like a bunch of words you just said, John. I'll give you an example. I have a 55-year-old student who rage quit. He was very impatient because he has no memory. And he was turning into a zombie, root rotting. He looks like Homer Simpson. And every single time I told him not to beat himself up. Whenever he gets stuck, he'll just get frustrated and he'll write that the system is frustrating him. It's like, no, it's not the system that's frustrating you. Other people got laid in 1 week or less. The only one who's frustrated is him because he's going slow. That's right. So he beats himself up. Whenever you have a student that beats himself up, that usually makes them an impossible case, because easy case get laid in like 1 day to 3. Normal case can get laid in like a week to 3 weeks. Hard case would be up to 6 months to whatever, up to 6 months. Impossible case when they're emotional and they're banchoding and they're angry because there's extra anger. They put themselves into the into the impossible case category. They're still following my instructions, but they're slow. So they don't have a growth mindset. They think everything is fixed. Like, what do you mean, John? They think the world is like completely fixed and working against them. What I mean by that is they think it's like the boxing match. They don't think it's a dynamic thing. They think that the fight is fixed, that their results or whatever happens, it's already predetermined. That is their score. No. Women actually judge your value every single few seconds. They're always recalculating the 20 out of 35. Looks out of 10, money out of 5, status out of 10, social skills, social calibrations, emotional control game. 2.5, 2.5, 2. Women are always, if you start hunching like this, women are going to start calculating. Sorry, so itchy right now. I'm not sure nose hairs. They're going to start to lower your score. If you start talking like this and sighing at the end of the sentence, women will hear that. They'll be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? That's the poverty side. This guy has a low survival value. If you're doing the zombie flow drill, statements, you get a 3-word answer, then question, 3-word answer, statement, 3-word answer, question, 3-word answer, statement. If you just keep doing that, then your social skills are down. Does that make sense, guys? It's not fixed. You need to have a growth mindset. Latinos do not have a growth mindset because they have a one-track mind. There's only one way to do something. There's no like new ways. So when I tell them what to do, they'll fight back. They'll resist. They'll say they're busy or something like that. They'll make it not their priority and they'll think that their way is the right way. If you're used to that, that's called stubbornness, despite superior evidence to the contrary, which my system works. If they actually don't follow the instructions, then they are going against it because they're being stubborn. That's not a growth mindset. So what's the next one? The next one is called resilience. Do you bounce back when things go wrong or do you quit? For that 55-year-old student in the United States, the bald guy who has Homer Simpson hair on his side, he doesn't have growth mindset. He never shaved all his hair off. I told him that he's like, oh, I keep fucking up the homework assignment. So I was like, of course he did. I don't care. I told him that at least now he can do the hybrid opener. Next, he's going to learn how to last a minute in a conversation. Then he's going to last like how long to get a phone number closed. It's like he was a military guy. So I said, these are different military maneuvers. You're just learning the first one right now. You're going to learn the second one next, third, fourth, fifth, and then you get a phone number closed. He wasn't resilient. Every single time he gets rejected, or he's like, why am I not late by now? It's like, that's so stupid. Sorry. Losing my voice. But he's like, oh, how come I'm not late by now? It's like, dude, the other students are getting late. It's like, yo, listen, you're slow. You look like a Homer Simpson, and you don't like the fashion because you feel uncomfortable because you have low self-esteem. Yeah, I don't like the fashion because I feel like, like he feels like a fraud, right? He's dressed. It's like, you gotta be husband material. You're 55 years old. Why would a 21-year-old want to bang you? You have no value. And then he just rage quit afterwards, like a Latino. He's not Latino, he's white. But he has those sort of sociopathic Latino traits. And that's the problem. He rage quit because he had no resilience. I told him, get knocked down, get back up, walk a little bit further, 1 inch forward. But he doesn't want to fail forward. He just fucking rage quit and stopped replying to me, stonewalling like a sociopath. Not all stonewallers are sociopaths, but all sociopaths are stonewallers before they stab you in the back. But he didn't stab me in the back, he just rage quit. What the fuck? And what's even worse is when I show him the other students getting laid right there. Whenever you show it, here's the truth. I don't like posting too many testimonials on my YouTube sometimes because if I post too many, people will beat themselves up if they don't have a growth mindset or resilience. They're going to get angry. Why did he get laid and did it not? Because they're too fucking emotional and they're bench holding and they're not actually coachable and they have no resilience. And you tell them that and they're just like, oh yeah, but you don't deserve shit because you don't have grit. So what's the next one? It's called instincts. Are you following my guidelines? my guidance? Or are you doing it your own way? If you're doing it your own way, then how the fuck are you supposed to get laid if you're doing the opposite? How? There's no path to victory. So instincts are important. Latinos do not have instincts because they have a one-track mind. Latinos have to do it their way every single time. So it's impossible for Latinos outside that other student who actually followed the instructions. He did everything I say the second time. After he came back for the 21-year-old Latino student, after he was gone, and I just let him go. And he said, "Can I please come back?" And I said, "Dude, you didn't listen to me last time." This time he did everything I said. And then he used the mindset playlist audio as a mental vaccine. And then he sped up again whenever he crashes out. He crashed out. You remember Mr. M, right? In the WhatsApp group. He crashed out. I made him listen to the audio again. Now he's fast as fuck. So that's how Latinos can do it. But some Latinos refuse to listen to mindset playlist. And I said a lot of the Latinos, I was worried that if you can finish your mindset playlist or not, we still have to create the vaccine. But I said only like 5 Latino students ever finished it. The other people quit before they finished it, or they took a month, or they took like 5 months to finish the mindset playlist. Marco took like 4 months. It's crazy, you know, because he likes to write everything on a piece of paper and just, you know, you saw that. You're like, why are you doing that? So fucking stupid. But you did see the other students, right? The guys who got laid, Mr. A, the Gen Z Latino. You saw the other Indian guy I kicked out of the WhatsApp group, right? The guy was bench holding. He got laid last year and the year before that. You know that? You saw the other guy, Marco, in the group. Yeah, you saw some of the students. They all got laid. So that's the thing. It's good that you finally can see it for yourself, you know? Because you're also in the other WhatsApp group for the Elite Daygame for steps. I no longer sell that. So tenacity means that you have to finish what you started. Or do you give up halfway? You see that? For that white student, right? Does he have tenacity when he gives up? It's like, dude, you just started for like 3 weeks or something, and you fucking quit. Oh, you got your hybrid opener. That's good. Other students take a long time to get it. But he's got it down. And then he's like, oh yeah, she walked away afterwards. So he beats himself up. Is that tenacity? Even JP over here. You quit a while and I made you come back and work on self-development. That was not tenacity. If you're there, JP, right? That was not tenacity. So I'm putting you back into the course. You want to quit? I'm going to make you unquit. And I taught you some good lessons that will be in day number 3. All brand new concepts. This 20 out of 35 in aeroscience, I never directly made a video talking about it directly. I only had a footnote. So this 5-day challenge is going to be all brand new concepts. So if you have these mindsets, you're going to move up fast, right? If you don't, then you're going to get stuck or even slide backwards and you'll find yourself in the same spot next year. Now I worked with all kinds of students over the years, and I want you to see where you might fit in. There are easy cases. They can get laid in 1 to 3 days, as I said. Normal cases, 1 week or 3 weeks. And to be honest, there aren't many of these around these days, especially with the economy being what it is. Then there is the hard cases. These guys progress slowly because they think too fucking much. They overthink because they're Asperger's syndrome. They always in their fucking head. They're never in the moment executing. They're always thinking too fucking much. Like, shut that part of your brain off. And also, if you stick with it, they'll still get there. They'll still get the lay. Then you got the impossible cases, right? They struggle emotionally because they had a rough past. And if they actually trust the process, they're so outcome oriented, right? They're not actually like process oriented. So yeah, I'm here, and that's all true. Looking forward to day number 3, and all these lives are all golden. Yeah, excellent. And I'm glad you continue with the elite access, right? Just keep getting knocked down and get back up, and just keep going forward. You learned that 55-year-old student, the other guy, right? Actually, you were his classmate, were you not? JP? You were the other guy's classmate. He was doing good in the beginning, wasn't he? But afterwards, when you fell and you got injured, and you crashed out, right? You had the meltdown. He eventually had a meltdown too, and he quit. He was doing good in the beginning. You saw him. I just realized that you're in the same WhatsApp group. I paired both of you together. But to see how fast somebody can be root rotting like a plant that's overwatered with cortisol. He actually rage quit, believe it or not, your classmate. You quit too, but you're unquitting, so I'm not gonna let you quit. So, but yeah, so they need to be less like outcome oriented and more process oriented. It's not like RSD, oh, you got to trust the process. No, I have a process that actually proven to work, as you see with these lay testimonials. I'm posting like recent stuff too from the last challenge and the one before. So, and finally, there's unteachable cases. These are the ones I can't help. So if you're procrastinating, you run away, you reject feedback. No offense, Mr. M. You blame others for your failures, or you shift blame or refuse to adapt. This program isn't for you. I'm not saying that's not for you. You didn't have to sign a commitment contract as a Latino, but there is a commitment contract. But I don't want to waste your time or mine for other people. Mr. M, you're more like you're not training so much. You're here for being advised, right? That's what you said, because you're working 2 jobs. You said, do not train me like the other students. Please let me stay in the program and advise me instead. So that's what I'm going to do. So, yeah, I take full responsibility for that. And true, hope that he's doing all right. The other guy's not doing all right. If he rage quit, right? And he's that impatient in 3 weeks, he cannot expect a woman to jump on his dick if he doesn't do any of the things I say. He's not following instructions. And when he's out there, he's doing okay. He just needs to have more resilience and more instincts and tenacity. But if you're willing to do the work on yourself, you can move up on the level. So JP, where do you fit in all this, right? I think you're more of like you get emotional, right? So that'll put you under an impossible case category. So you can always move up 1 spot, but you never finish the mindset playlist. This is a fact. There was so much to keep updating your mindset playlist with different colors, right? Not just red. You never completed the mindset playlist, right? And that's a fact. It's not like I'm making this up. Because it wasn't finished, you're like statistically another Latino that did not finish the mindset playlist, among many, because you have bad mindsets. Latinos are born with bad mindsets. You see what's happening with all the riots and shit out there, right? And they're designated as terrorists now. And you guys are born here, both of you. But you get what I'm saying. Latinos are so fucked up, they're designated as terrorists now. And, you know, migrants, illegal, like aliens. And they're making it harder for everyone, just nothing but crime. The bigger the frown, the bigger the crime. So having said that, the mindset playlist resets your score, JP, and you keep going. And on the flip side, if you crash out with a Latino fuck behavior and you're not listening and you're just not adapting and you drop down and you get stuck, and you ask yourself honestly, which case are you right now? You can always move up 1 spot, right, for everyone else with the mindset playlist and the right supplements. Only 1 spot. You cannot jump from hard case into like easy case. If you're an impossible case, you cannot jump to like normal case. You have to go to hard case. Unless you have the Latino fuck behavior, you're going to keep running into the same wall, even with my perfect system. You want to be the perfect student. Does that make sense? I may have the perfect system, but you still have to be the perfect student. So we're talking about 20 out of 35. We're talking about aeroscience. Mindsets have to be there to get those things in order. True, and I wasn't doing it right. John's filter, right, is vital for the mindsets. Exactly. Because I told you today, do not ask a question about objections, right? You need to work on this other thing. And that's a big thing too. My mental filter can see all the mistakes, easily fixable. You work your way back up there. Eventually you become a hard case, but that's still good. You'll still get results, right? It just takes a little bit longer. So let's see here. All right. So as I was saying, this year I've added a new step to the Latino fuck behavior. So step number 1 is having one-track mind, right? Stubborn, right? You know what I'm talking about. one way to do something, right? Sometimes when I talk to people on the phone, people should honestly contact me for help. I ask them, hey, are you willing to change your fashion? When I have a sales call, right? Some people are saying, well, why should I change, like India, why should I change my fashion? Isn't it good enough I'm wearing like a light blue green shirt in bench holding fashion? It's like, no. So are you willing to take supplements? I ask them. Why should I take supplements, right? Isn't it, can I eat the food? Oh, for fuck's sakes. Like, how much growth mindset? Some people immediately object because they have a one-track mind, and that's when they think they're already enough. That's a Latino fuck behavior. They don't want to change the fashion either. I had one guy, and you know who you are, from New York. Guy was like, well, why should I change my fashion and be more whitewashed? I just bought a new white t-shirt and blue jeans. Is not good enough. It's like, oh, for fuck's sakes. You're gonna look like all the fucking migrants in New York. How are you gonna stand out? Right? But he still got Elite 30, so. Anyways. They only think one way to do something is to give direct compliments, for example, right? Or whatever it is. Oh no, I have to have this long hairstyle. It's like, what? It's always about having a one-track mind. And with Latinos, it's like they can only do one step at a time. They can't handle 3 steps in a row. So when I tell them to do the social skills flow drill, which is a repeated 3-step process, they just can't fucking do it. They can't do 3 steps. They can only do 1 step at a time. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I give them the solution, but they always default back to their own ways. Step number 2 is for the new Latino fuck behavior chart. Step number 2 is taught like the wrong path, taking the wrong path, the sociopath. In 4 months, it blows up in your face. Everything fails. Well, that's the same time the other 21-year-old Latino student came back. And this happens 3 times a year, every year. If you have these 3 traits, right? 3 traits, you're not going to get laid. And I'm not trying to single out Latinos. Anyone can have the Latino fuck behavior. Step number 3 is a brand new, okay? This one is called the cackling Kamala. In fact, I have shown you this, JP, right? On the screenshot. The cackling Kamala today. Whenever a Latino student like Marco starts making excuses, shifting blame, giving himself a pat on the back, and then I remind him what his mistake was, and he recalls it. He's like, "Oh yeah, now I remember." Ha ha ha! And they start cackling like Kamala, right? The way she cackles, like. This is brand new, but this is before a meltdown. So I just keep shoving the screenshots and sending them to the Latinos like 5 times in a row because they cannot stop. So I call it cackling Kamala concept. I'll get more into this on day number 3, okay? But here's the breakdown. First, you make an excuse, a bunch of excuses in a row, even Mr. M, and I call you out on something because you have a sociopathic mindset. You have to shift the blame because sociopaths have to win at all costs. They don't feel guilty. They have opinions as facts. So how can they ever blame themselves as being wrong if they have to win at all costs and they're always right? Then you'll get delusional. And since you can't blame yourself, you'll make excuses. Second, you'll shift the blame indirectly, okay? So as soon as you make the excuse, there's going to be a shift of the blame. You're going to make it seem like it's somehow my fault. Oh, John, but the reason I'm talking to you right now, I'm at work, so therefore it's your fault. They'll shift it at me. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, it's like, seriously, it's not my fault, it's your fault. Why shift the blame? Take some responsibility. Extreme ownership. I hate to say this, but this is what they'll say. Like, I hate to say this, John, but it's all your fault. Like, fuck you. It's 0% my fault. It's 100% your ADHD, sociopathic mindset fault. I mean, I'm the world's best day game coach. When I say that I'm the world's best day game coach, right? Like, everyone knows. It's not like some other coach with a megalomaniac, like narcissistic personality disorder. I'm the best day game coach. Fuck you. Nobody believes it. When I say I'm the world's best day game coach, everybody believes it. Everybody knows. Everybody gets pissed off. It's like I'm urinating in their fucking mouth. Everybody knows it. It fucks with their sensibilities. They don't like. It's like, John, you don't have to brag. Everyone knows. Yeah, I'm the world's best Daygame coach. It's like we all know that. Like water is wet. Come on now. But you're the sociopathic zombie. You're rotting away. I'm the best coach. So how am I wrong again? If I have like, if 100 testimonials means like I'm 100% right, then I have 665. Am I like 665% right? Third, for the cackling Kamala, we'll talk more about this. You start giving yourself a pat on the back. You'll say something like, I made like $20,000 or something. And it's like, great, you have $18,000 worth of expenses and you're fucking broke, right? When I call you out, right? Like, do you make that much? And then it's like, you're broke, right? But they always have to give themselves a pat on the back. Or, I've got multiple girlfriends before, or many of them before. You're supposed to, motherfucker. You always have to protect your ego, even when it doesn't make sense. Because narcissistic personality disorder, sociopath, narcissism, Machiavellian manipulator, except they manipulate their own mind to protect their ego. This trait is very narcissistic. You already lost your mind. And then when you lose this part of this step, it's when I remind you, hey, you made $20,000, but you got $18,000 of expenses, right? As you said. And they're like, oh yeah, now I remember. That's the next step of the Kamala, cackling Kamala. This is a 2025 concept. All Latinos are doing this. And other sociopathic students, including Asians. They're all doing the cackling Kamala. This is brand new. I'll be talking more about it. It's a very strange pattern. And every time I keep sending them the WhatsApp screenshot. See, you're doing number 3 now. See, you're doing number 1 now. See, you're doing number 4 now. And send it again. See, you're doing number 3 now. Then they go, oh yeah, John, you're right. Like Kamala. Like a hyena, right? You start laughing. That's the cackling Kamala concept. And now that's step number 3. And you will not get laid if you're on this path. The sociopaths are the ones who haven't gotten laid this year. They're popping up everywhere with the cackling Kamala. This is a new phenomenon with the cackling Kamala. Now the new step, right, is number 4. I mean, like, no, like basically number 3 becomes number 4. It's called crashing out. That's when I have a meltdown conversation, just like that 55-year-old student. He started like when I phoned him, and he's getting all frustrated and stuff. And it's like, oh, why are they getting laid, and why he's not automatically getting laid? Because you're impatient and you have no resilience, no growth mindset. I told him. You're talking to a zombie. He doesn't get it. It's just like the 21-year-old Gen Z student. I had a conversation. He's like, I'm going to go back to school, and that's more important, right? I said, no, you got to make this a higher priority for Daygame. Because school's always going to be there. When he came back afterwards in 4 months, then he finally followed the steps. Does that make sense? He didn't have a meltdown the second time. And whenever he has a meltdown, before it crashes out, he always goes back to the mindset playlist before I ban him. I had white students crash out. That 55-year-old guy, right, with the Homer Simpson hair, as I said. And also on the phone, right, another person crashed out. This guy who's like in his 40s. And then, I was writing in the community section. I said, I'm having a deja vu, right? Whenever a deja vu happens over and over, some sociopath I'm going to argue with. And it was that 44-year-old guy on the phone, right? Say, fuck you, John, fuck you, fuck you. It's like, oh, it was that guy after all. I just figured it out, right? Looking at the phone number. Oh, okay. He must have got so pissed off because he must have seen all the recent students who got laid, right? He saw the video testimonial. I sent it to everyone on WhatsApp. Then he got angry because he doesn't have a growth mindset. He's like, oh, doing drills. What's that? It's like, can you explain it to me? It's like, oh, what the fuck? I don't get it. So you're saying if I go out there, the women are not going to jump on your dick. See, white people suck dick in terms of Daygame this year. White people sucks. The only one that's good was a Jewish white guy because he's half Jew. White people are just as bad as Latinos. Not because they're stubborn, but because they have too much SMV for natural status and they're lazy. They're really bad. They have white people are super impatient because they used to have a lot of SMV. They expect everything handed to them on a silver platter. So if you're white and you want to join here, maybe you should all sign a commitment contract. Latinos and whites. And I told him, dude, you're like 55, right? You're like, you're gonna bang a 21-year-old like my other 55-year-old student, right? If you don't have any grit and you're not learning, the German guy, right? He dresses sharp. He gets laid with women in their 20s. He had sex with a 21-year-old, 25, 21, and a 24, and also a model, level looking woman. That's 10 out of 10. This Megan Fox looking woman. But my student still crashed out. Oh yeah, I had to alter the photo of the Megan Fox looking woman. Okay? Because he finally found out I posted his picture. He's like, oh shit, I didn't tell you to post that picture, right? I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking post it. But I negotiate with him. I'll like change the hair color. I don't change it, but I have no choice. I'll put in a screenshot. Student requested the picture is slightly altered. But yeah, if you want to see it right now, it's like a couple of videos back. The Megan Fox looking woman. So once I change that, it's gonna be like that. Then she's gonna have brown hair, so she's not gonna be identifiable. I'm gonna censor the face better. I'm gonna change it a little bit so she cannot find it. But my students still crashed out, right? That guy, that 55-year-old, he got frustrated. He had a meltdown. And he's not Latino, but Latinos do this all the time. Every week I'm seeing 2 more fucking crash outs from sociopaths. So all the people that were not too sociopathic, they all got laid. And the ones who are too sociopathic, they have the Latino fuck behavior. So if you're worried about whether or not you'll get results from my coaching, just don't have these fucking traits. That's automatically get laid. Just shut off your brain and just do it. Don't be like Mr. M when it's like, oh, I got 2 jobs, or I have to do this later. I'm driving. I cannot do it. Just fucking do it. After that, the new step is number 5, is rage quitting. You get angry and you quit and you give up on Daygame completely. Number 6 is like what most Latinos do. They resurrect themselves. They always come back. They're too stubborn to quit because they're in their mind, they're right. It must really suck to be a Latino this year with all the Trump ICE raids and everything. That's step number 6. They always go back to step number 1, and then they'll go back down to number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have these traits, you're probably not going to get laid because you're an unteachable case. You probably won't have much resilience or a growth mindset because you can't accept new ideas. You won't get laid if you have these traits. So you might as well stop watching this video if you have these traits. For the 5-day challenge, turn the key and walk away. Fuck off. Go back to fucking Tinder or Night Game. You have no chance. Sometimes I tell people on the phone, when they're stubborn on the phone, they're resisting, I say turn the key and walk away. You have 0 potential. Or whenever they see the late testimonials, they get more angry. They beat themselves up over and over, even more. So let's see here. I'm gonna try to zoom back a little bit. There. All right. So it's a bit too close over there. Oh shit, it's getting closer again. All right. For everyone else, right, if you are an unteachable case, you can still move up to impossible case. So if you're an impossible case, you can still become a hard case with a good mindset playlist. If you're a hard case, you can become a normal case. Because the mindset playlist, you can reset everything for one spot. It's entirely possible, but it's up to you. So if you want to fight back, resist, and do the opposite, run away from homework and take long breaks in doing the opposite of what I'm teaching, just because my system is perfect doesn't mean that you don't have to be the perfect student. You have to be the perfect student too. So if you're willing to be coachable and follow instructions and not beat yourself up over outcomes, and there is no failure in my system because it's the perfect system. So even if you're a Latino, some Latinos, they still get married with my coaching and become a father and make more money, but it takes them 3 years. For the first 2 years, they're resisting everything and they get kicked out. They always come back, John, I'm married now, whatever. And I also cheated on my wife. It's like, good for you, right? Oh, I'm also a father. It's like, yeah, I know. So that means the system is perfect. It's just, how much can you adapt to it? I once asked a student who's a millionaire, how do you make $1 million? He said, it's not because he tried to chase the money. He just basically had millionaire habits, that's all. And the money show up in his bank account. That's what he told me. The money showed up in his bank account because he had millionaire habits. So if you have the students' habits of my John Elite Army, the enlightened day gamers, you automatically get laid. Elite tonality mastery plus, 20 out of 35, automatically laid. But if you don't have that and you're resisting, well, how the fuck are you gonna install the skills? How? You can't. So if you're not willing to do that and you're gonna get stuck. Now let's talk about something a lot of guys bring up. Maybe you're thinking, right, that, oh, isn't this all about looks? Oh, the fucking black pillars. Oh, John, is looks, right? I don't have good looks. Or maybe, you've been watching too much Black Pill and you convinced it's hopeless. Because if you're not a model or rich or whatever, then it's over, as they tell themselves, right? The Indian student was black pilled and he was like thinking it was looks because he was losing his hair. He posted this in the Elite Day Game First Steps booklet WhatsApp group. Mr. M seen it. He's like, oh, I'm losing my hair or whatever. He's losing his fucking mind, bench holding. But then I was like, shut up and just follow my instructions. And then he got like a white girlfriend. He got Elite Tonality Mastery, and then he combined it with everything. And he was thinking it's all looks because he was losing his hair. But let me put this to rest. 20 out of 35 system proves that looks alone aren't enough. If we did the math, right? Let's say your looks was 10. You had surgery, right? And you're white, so you're 10 out of 10. So that's 19 points, am I right? And here's where it all falls apart. If you have zero social skills and you can't keep a conversation flowing with a social skills flow drill, if she's giving you a short 3-word boring answer, you lose points there, right? So you got 0. If your body language is off and you're hunching and your tonality is weak and you sound like you're defeated like a black pillar, you may only get 1 point for social calibrations body language. So that might be 20, but if you have bad emotional control, you're stressed out with cortisol, the winner or loser effect, you're still 18 or minus 2.5 points. That's like 17.5 points, right? They don't have game or social calibrations or even social skills. It's either 18.5 or 17.5, whatever, but 18.5. No, 18. No, it's 17.5. Yeah, it's 17.5. So it's minus 2.5, and that's from like 20. Then that's what it is. That's below 20 points. That means even black pill with surgery cannot get laid, even with the perfect looks and white status. For you guys, say I in your mind if you're starting to see that it's not about looks now. If you realize that 20 out of 35, or maybe you can write it down. Say I is not about looks. So I'll read your comments. So I'll put them all in the FAQ on the last day. So if there's any new people here, you can say hi, right? It'd be good to talk to you. If you have any questions, go ask me, right? So having said that, this is why my students succeed. No matter where they start from, no matter where or what their ethnicity is, no matter what is their situation. If you work on your mindsets, you build your grit, and you master all these points. 20 out of 35 you can only get that with grit. You will cross a line of fuckability and you will get your dick wet for Daygame. And you become a video testimonial and I'll be like, I told you so. I know this is a lot, but I wanted to lay it all out for you guys. So, as if you were my own brother or my best friend. Because I want you to get it. This is the mechanism. 20 out of 35, aeroscience. It's not hype, but it is real. So if you're willing to put the work, follow the system, and actually grow, you can do this. And I'll be here to help you in every step of the way. If you get Elite Bundle Resurrections, I better put the new pricing soon, at least for the 5-day challenge. As soon as I finish, I'm not done with this video yet, I'm almost there, but I'll have to change the price to 940 bucks. Do not wait for the price to change, because next time it's going to be higher. It's going to be like 950 or something. It's going to be a 960, 970. It's going to keep going up. So yet being black pilled, the Indian student, the Asian student was red pilled, believe it or not. He's the biggest red pillar that I know. Let's break it down, red pill. So let's say the guy was like for the 20 out of 35 system. His status was 10 out of 10, okay? But let's just say that he was a club promoter, so his high status job, high status lifestyle, he had money and is shown in his Instagram. He has the exotic advantage by traveling and third world money status advantage. Let's say he got 4 more points. So when you look at it, looks is out of 6. So that's 10 plus 4 and plus 6, that's 20 points. But because, here's how it falls apart. Because he's a red pillar, he doesn't have any social skills. He's as angry as Fresh and Fit. Or, as angry as like Rolo Tomasi. Social calibrations is 0.5. That's it. A little bit of confidence in body language, nothing more. But very angry. So it's like, that's it. Game is like 0 because they're game deniers. Emotional control is minus 2.5 because they're red pilled. Because it's female nature, because they're all riding the cock carousel until they hit the wall, right? That's how they think. So when you subtract it, so let's add it up. So status plus all the other stuff, and status maxing is 14. Looks is 4. 0 social skills, 0.5 social calibrations, 0 game, minus 2.5 emotional control, and they're 18 points out of 35. So if you spend all your time trying to build clout, you won't get laid because you're below the line. You just have to stand next to women like all these other guys. What's the guy's name? That short 5'9" guy. But yeah. Have you ever successfully trained someone with generalized anxiety? They all have like fucking generalized anxiety disorder. Come on, huh? And approach anxiety and also they all have this kind of shit, so it's very common. So even with all that status maxing and looks, if your emotional control is bad, your total drops to 18 out of 35. That's below the line of fuckability, which means that you're still going to get laid, or you're not going to get laid consistently. So the bottom line is red pill and status maxing guys, they spend years choosing or chasing clout and status. But if you ignore social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control, you're still stuck under 20 out of 35. It's way more effective to build those 7.5 points for social skills, social calibrations, and emotional control, which is automatically gets you laid, your dick wet, your willy wet. People love to shift blame, right? Red pill. They love to cope. They rationalize and find reasons why it wouldn't work for them. But here's the truth. Every single student that got laid for the testimonials, then 100% real, by the way. I have the screenshots. I have the lay pictures of the students. I have the video testimonials. I have the infield audio. And now I even have students like Mr. M over there who's seen the other students, the classmates right now, the other Latino students and Indian students, they all got laid. You met them, the testimonial guys. On top of everything, I have the infield audio, everything. The reason they get laid is they're reaching 20 out of 35 for Daygame, the line of fuckability. Unlike other coaches who inflates their numbers with unverifiable claims like positive YouTube comments for testimonials, like tall self-proclaimed high lay count coaches. Nobody has more testimonials than I do, or student result. I do. You have like a fraction of pickup testimonials for lay testimonials compared to me, motherfucker, right? You dumb fucking tall motherfucker. It's like, nobody's better. Like, shut the fuck up. I have so many fucking pickup lay testimonials. I have 60 unreleased ones. Where the fuck are yours for Daygame? It's like you got a few and very far in between for such a popular coach. Come on now. Shut the fuck up, right? Maybe I should be saying that. Nobody has more pickup lay testimonials than me for Daygame. So having said that, they have unverifiable claims like positive YouTube comments or Tinder body counts. Tinder is not a body count. Tinder is not a lay count. Because if it's a lay count, then women are getting lay counts. A woman can get like a fucking 100 lays in 3 months. if she has sex with 2 guys a day. No, actually, that's even less than that. It's like 2 months. So how is that a lay count? That's a body count. She's just swiping. All you're doing is using a fucking flow chart and texting with text game. That's like 12 out of 35. The body count. Because there's no social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. There's only game or text game, just a little bit. So if you're white, you got 10 points. You got game, you got 2 points. Then you automatically get laid with good pictures. That's it. It's not even that hard. So these guys are bragging for no reason. But Tinder isn't pickup. Yeah. I mean, you just cannot start swiping, get a number, and think that's a lay. It has to be real in person for Daygame. At least night game may count. But you might want to blame the lack of money too, right? For example, that's very common. Oh, the inflation's bad. I can't afford it, John. First thing I hear, oh, I like your system, but I can't afford it. And they shut it down. Well, how can you afford it? There's a plan, a financing plan. If you pay $333 times 3, you can afford it. Come on now. Don't be fucking cheap. Money is out of 5 for the 20 out of 35 chart. So if you're broke as a joke, right? It affects your ability to focus because you're always in survival mode. And there's literally a financing plan. I mean, 333 times 3. First one opens up Elite 30, one Skype, and also Elite Daygame first steps. The second payment of $666 opens up Elite Playbook and Elite Access. And the third payment unlocks Elite Tonality Mastery and the 10 Skypes. So you have no excuses, even if you're Canadian, because people are using Interact, which is a Canadian banking system. They just send me money. They don't have to pay for PayPal fees. So they just have to pay the USD equivalent. So if you want to save for it, just split your money into 5 buckets, right? Here's the big secret. No one fucking does it. I had this other black former student. He doesn't listen to me. He's always broke because he doesn't listen to the 5 buckets. And he always adds his own buckets or own steps. You want to save 20% of your paycheck for emergencies, 20% for self-education, 20% for investments, 20% for paying the bills, 20% for play money. The more you earn, the more you can spend. That's $333. It's easy for you to budget, right? If you do that. And if you're skeptical, I have students who can verify my claims. They've seen their classmates get laid in the inner circle. It works for every ethnicity, and yes, there's a hierarchy when it comes to status. White people are 10 out of 10. Confident whitewashed black men are 8 out of 10. Middle Eastern guys are 7 out of 10 because they're a conquering tribe. Latinos are 5 out of 10 because of ICE raids twice. Because Donald Trump's back twice. He's going to be back a third time, guys. He's going to be 3-term president because I predicted. Whitewashed Indians are 4 out of 10. Short blacks are 3 out of 10 because they're not tall positive stereotypes pre-selected by white women. Negative stereotype bench-holding Indians, 2 out of 10. And whitewashed Asians, 1 out of 10. And Asian-washed Asians, 0 out of 10. But his 20 out of 35 system means that you can get laid if you compensate with skills. So use my fashion, my system, be whitewash husband material to raise your looks, money, and status with a V-shaped body. You add a few points to your looks, your money, and your status this way. And Indians can go from 2 points higher to a 4 out of 10 whitewashed Indian. So to get over the line of fuckability, then you can focus on the skills. It works on every type of women. Hood rats. The 21-year-old student got a hood rat. And people are always asking me, hey, John, does it only work on white women? No. Does it work on hood rats or does it work on whitewashed women? Works on hood rats too. So whitewashed women, white women, Latinas, Asian women, whatever type. White is the top race for women. So if it works on them, it works on everybody else because white is right. Maybe you might think, oh, can you get laid by going to another dating coach? So, sorry, I just... sorry, it's so funny. Like, okay, let's get this straight, okay? So, global game platform scamming network. None of them has a single laid testimonial in 2024 and 2025 for Daygame. Maybe ABCs might have one for in fucking Peru or Mexico. Not even the United States. Can you get laid with their system? Like, are you insane? Come on now. Sorry, so funny. They don't have anyone laid, but they have authority because they're given to them because they're getting interview on these platform scamming networks. Oh, come on now. So you guys don't care about laid testimonials? You assume he must be good because of the halo effect of the coach? Come on now. Due to the inflation, they can't even get their fucking students laid for Daygame. So why even bother? Game is only 2.5 points. And money, status plus game, minus 2.5 points for emotional control due to the inflation and tariffs would just not be enough for 20 out of 35. Most of them don't actually have real late testimonials for Daygame. You think Mystery has a fucking late testimonial ever, or Ross Jeffries? You think they have a single fucking Daygame late testimonial? No. Or tall self-proclaimed coaches might show you positive YouTube comments as testimonials, or fucking Tinder, that's not pickup. Daygame is pickup. You might think, whoa, that coach is white, so he must be good. Well, what if he's just a marketer disguised as a dating coach? You ever thought of that? RSDR. They're all a bunch of fucking filthy marketers. And ask yourself, have you ever seen a white dating coach go from open to insta-date to venue changes to pulling her home and having sex in the bedroom all in one video? Never. It always ends in a cab. Into a Johnny cab. Every single fucking time. Always into a cab. So why trust white plausibility? White dating coaches are scammers. Boot camps are how they make all their money. So maybe you might think your accent will hurt you and it has no effect on your 20 out of 35 score. No, it has no effect on it, because if you have elite tonality mastery and you hide your cortisol, nobody even notices your fucking accent. You have a vocal problem, not an accent problem. If you're dressed whitewashed, they cannot pair your accent with a bench-holding Indian fashion. You're clear, you're confident, and nobody gives a fuck. So if you have an accent, many of my students do, but if you learn the vocal training to hide your cortisol and you have a vocal thing fixed and I can still hear what you're saying with a whitewashed tonality, if not, then it'll be lower for the score. And you don't need a fucking bench hold camp or boot camp. Indians who are engineers always, but John, I need a boot camp, right? Like, shut the fuck up. You don't need a boot camp because you're lazy and you think it's faster because you're ADHD. But they're not getting people laid. They're only posting old testimonials from the fucking pandemic days, recut and recycle. Many people don't get laid at the boot camp unless they're alcohol maxing and the coach tells you to escalate super hard, or you're riding on the coach's dick of their clout and their status maxing for an extra 4 points. They just stand next to women for pre-selection. Sorry. And then try to have a party with more women and less guys. And they think they can close that way. All because of status maxing. It's all crutches. But when you leave that status game, you lose all the points. And you're stuck again. Maybe you want to blame the fashion. You don't want to dress whitewashed or husband material. You want to feel like you're enough, like RSD. Oh, I am enough. Why am I not enough? White people always think they're enough. Well, not with a minus 2.5 points. Your privileges are revoked. That's why a lot of white people don't actually get laid anymore. Since 2024, 2025, 2023, they don't get laid. Ever for Daygame. Ever. Anymore. During inflation. You're like, what? Yeah, minorities get more lays than them. They're all secretly stuck and they're all crying to me in secret. They cannot afford my coaching because of the fucking inflation, because they're zombies. But if you're missing so many points for looks, money, status during inflation and tariff, when other Daygame coaches aren't even getting students laid anymore. But I have no idea what I just said there. But if it shows that you're financially stable and dependable, isn't that what most women want? If you're husband material and whitewash, why not wear the Johnny Lee Army uniform that every student wears to get laid, like a 21-year-old? My students get laid in 1 to 6 approaches with it. Maybe you think drills are unnecessary. Oh, why the fuck do I have to do drills, John? Why can't I just use game? I already practiced it once. Why am I practicing again? Says the worst student of the year. Half Latino, half white guy. But to raise your score, you have to practice drills accurately and precisely. You can't just half-ass it like a low self-esteem zombie. Maybe you want to blame supplements, like, oh, I don't want to take supplements, but your brain don't fucking work without it. If you're an unteachable case or an impossible case or hard case, you need to fucking focus. You need to reduce your anger. Maybe you think that the tariff and inflation are a permanent excuse, but in 6 months, this will be a past. And the economy is going to be really great in 6 months. And you have wasted all that time being MGTOW. You want to blame the economy? Don't do that. Take responsibility. Have extreme ownership. There's always a way forward with my coaching. And if you stop shifting blame and start taking action, every excuse has a solution. Every objection already been handled. So if you want results, follow the system that actually works. My system, the only one that's working consistently. Use the resources and stop letting excuses hold you back. If for those who want to stay, right, I could play the video testimonials again. You'll learn a lot, but I'm just saying, if you want to leave, now is the time. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? So right now, how many people is here? I can't see it without my fucking glasses. There are 8 people here. If you guys want to stay, we'll play the testimonials again very quickly. All right? And then we'll end the video and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time. But for the rest that that needs to sleep, right now it's 8:35 p.m. Pacific time. It's okay, but it's 11 o'clock for Eastern time, or 11 something. Okay? We'll talk about that on day 3, blame shifting. This is the newest pattern of 2025. So for those who wants to leave right now, see you tomorrow, day 2 of 5. Right now I'm going to play a double speed for those who missed the testimonials. Right now. So if there's 8 people here, you're still here? Let's play them very quickly. The first one I played last time was an Indian student. Let's play a double speed. You guys could hear it despite the voice being like altered to sound more like a robot. It doesn't matter because with this streaming thing over here, it's going to work perfectly. You can hear everything. So he got a white girlfriend with my training, Aeroscience. 20 out of 35.
Sharing my experience with Jonathan inside the program and how it changed my life. And as I've heard a lot about fitness, coaches, different styles of saying, it's really kept life, really close to like my actually, to the hands, stand, results, yesterday, was just the cheap, what the 19, the cheap 12, very articulated, what faced, what healthy, and emphasis, quarantine, change the news, and God making everything, this result of the gospel, and hey, die home. Man, people, both races, you know, for instance, that the broken setting race to the extent where white lives actually more confident, more objective, see things, see their human body, like that, see the guys, not being tempted. You can see the equivalent of the rest of the second objective way to bring up all these things this way, and also, yes, one check, the remains of the music, so we have some changing techniques, even your guys, it's about objective, but many guys always make a different rules all that stuff, and you can use it to improve the confidence. And again, also, use techniques that work in this way, basically, and all the things mentioned, it's one thing difficult to reduce choice, and care, and objective, because this is having state, it's crazy, if I actually achieve this, telling the story is very emotional for me, because I have to be predictable, and I think to be predictable to speak, and speaking to you, without today, with a lot of confidence, and I just want to be because he's been testing everything, and one of the things that he told me to give this program just so I went to checkpoints, and it's different to it's a social skills program, which taught me how to talk to organic language, and actually does the perfect job. So it sent me about 31 seconds. Text John on WhatsApp and so it's actually helped me about actually what I should do to help someone there to guide me. And John focuses on minorities as well, which is why I love other students. Also, the other success for students on minorities, whether they are Jewish or black or Italian or Romanian or Indian, and Chinese, and Indian, Filipino, Indian, and especially Indian as well, because it's so difficult to actually try and find a white girl from the country. I managed to do this, so definitely working like this. What I actually also got from the program was the fact that I a lot of focus really fighting and you understand me go through the basic alternative to goals to help me to improve my tonality and help me to gain a lot of focus and confidence. And when I joined the inner circle of building more views, more of each of the single source, the value system, I joined has been different for years, all of this to do. So we can do more, but the real proof is just I said John deep fixed me It's not good. Und das ist die Ball in Deutschland begangen geworden. Die Liga der Tour ist mitgekommen. Und die Big Bang good for the guy. And the guy can be the guy gets the one goal. And thank you, John, for sharing this.
Last call. Final chance to join the May 5-day challenge for Daygame.
That was the last 5-day challenge, right? When he got laid. So that was around like May 16th. Right now it's like I started the challenge a little bit later, right? I just kept cutting the videos like replays. I forgot to post the golden nugget stuff. All right, next one. Let's go very quickly, right? Some of you guys gotta sleep. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. But the next one is Latino. He's actually texting me right now. This student is texting me right now. I could call him right now and he can confirm everything, but we don't have time for that. But
a 21-year-old Gen Z American student living in the US. And today, with John's training and coaching, I've gotten laid. I've used Elite Bundle 2 and upgraded it to Elite Tonality Mastery. And with the skills I learned, I was able to close with this older black woman just outside. Today is May 16th. This is technically Daygame. So, as I was walking outside my neighborhood and streets, I saw this older woman who was black and a lot older than I was. Because I find her attractive, I approached her using the right tonality and the right skills. I asked to see if she knew where the nearest 7-Elevens was, and she gladly showed me the way. She held my hand and guided me towards the 7-Elevens. There, I noticed that she was very turned on by me, and she was flirting with me continuously. So I flirted back, and eventually that led to interest. She wanted to take me back to her place, and I offered to use my car. That was when she had the idea to just have sex in my car. And this just happened right now. And I got laid. And I'm very grateful for John Elite and many other people as part of the inner circle who motivate me to try harder. To all my fellow Latinos, I say, do not give up, right? And believe that you can do it. But more importantly, just follow the right path. And thank you very much. This is my testimonial, and I hope to provide a lot more testimonials in the future.
Right after that lay on May 16th, this student even got a hand job from another woman on May 26th. Didn't go further, she was mentally unstable, so he did the smart thing and moved on. What's wild, last year, this guy was one of the worst students in the group. Just goes to...
all right, so the last one before we go, I don't feel like calling him right now. I really am not in the mood. See. Okay. Excellent. So
take a seat, my friend, let's have a chat. I'll share my secrets. It's all in the format.
okay, on Google Drive, here's that Asian guy. Let's play at double speed.
Game unlocked. It's your time to shine in the world of dating. Everything's
This is
aligned.
No, that's the Jewish guy. We'll play the Jewish guy's testimonial. He got laid. He got 20 lays, right? So awesome. See you tomorrow. All right, you can leave right now. That's no problem, right? I won't hold it against you. So see you tomorrow. We'll play some double speed.
This is
He got laid this year.
a testimonial for John Elite. Today is February 6th, 2025. Yesterday, I had not one but two lays from Daygame.
Yeah, we heard enough of that one, right? 2 lays from Daygame, grid, right? Typical student. And let's switch over to a different Google Drive. Here's the last student that got a stripper.
The future looks bright. Join me on this path. It'll feel so right. Hey there, I'm John Elite. Let me take the stage. Best day game coach. It's time to turn the page. Best in this world of dating. I'll be the best. Say pretty ladies.
It's a very secret to the university for all of you attention. Told. It's told. But the answer is, if you're not mental health, you're cooked. But those of you, it's what does. Absolutely cooked. Here's good. Feels good. Because I'm saying to what's your release. Yes. To go through this. To go here. I was going to live. So probably the going hours. It was much of the it's amazing how these changes we have mental balance. The coast, really hardcore. The coast I'm always got that. Don't pass the rest of my drive up for weeks and it was hard. Here's what. So it's
Yeah, so you got a stripper from Daygame. So yeah, he's had a lot of setbacks. So you should check out my sales ladder. I'm gonna change the price, right? 940. Is it 900? Yeah, $940 on sale. You want to break it down 3 pieces? That's fine. A lot of people do that. So, or you pay for the whole thing at once, and you can get Elite Tonality Mastery and start with that in the beginning. I'm not here to pitch my course for today. I'll pitch around day 3 or something. Check out my sales letter if you have time. Okay, I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Then I'm gonna stop the thing over here. I'll have a replay in the morning, and we'll continue at 5 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, and we'll talk about the next topic. All right. So I'll see you guys there. All right, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you for being here, guys. For the 8 people, now 7. I know your time is very valuable, and to spend the time with me here, I really do appreciate it. All right, get some sleep, guys. We'll talk tomorrow.